Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to the Magnanimous Collective. I'm your host, Sean Kubota. Let's start it off with a deep breath into the belly. And let it go. Oh yeah, dropped in. It's been a minute since I've had a guest on here. I'm really excited today to have a brother that I haven't seen in quite a while. A very special guest, a man who is a proud father of two young men, a legacy military veteran, active duty in the military right now, someone who's an aspiring writer, an entrepreneur, and someone who is really just heart forward and being led and really just trying to do things right in the world. And I really admire what you're doing in the military. So without further ado, coming from Las Vegas, Nevada, please welcome Ronnie Portillo. Thanks for coming, bro.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
He put in the yay. I love it. Yeah, bro. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me. I love this shit.
Yo, so to start it off, like I said, I really want to hear more of your story.
Yeah.
There's so much there. And one of the landing points that I love to touch on in the beginning is tell us about Ronnie Portillo and how you became you. Like, when did you start to make those decisions for yourself where perhaps you had an epiphany, in your youth or in your young adult life where you were like, hey, you know what? I could choose in this moment of potential tragedy, or suffering or struggle, I could choose to spiral and go dark and go deep. And maybe you had to go there. But how did you find your way out of that? And what were the moments that led you to, take ownership of your life and how you're walking it?
My brother's death, bro.
Damn.
So my brother died in 2008. From what we think is an overdose on fentanyl is what I think it was.
Oh my God. All the way back then, fentanyl.
Yeah. Well, it happened before the years, but we did an autopsy on him. And the only thing that came out of his system was marijuana. So
no,
clearly, you know what I'm saying? Clearly there was something there going on.
Yeah.
And he's no longer here. So that was what I call that was my initiation into manhood.
Oh,
I was initiated into the army before that at 18, but then at 20 years old, that happened. But it's not so much that he just died. It's I witnessed the whole thing. So I did CPR on him. I tried to resuscitate him. I watched the body start decompress. The whole, it's done, things start coming out and just all the life things, man.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my fucking wake up moment to what is this life? What does this mean? I was raised Christian for most of my life.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought I wanted to be a pastor, even a youth pastor. I was like, I think this is what I'm gonna call for. This is what I'm gonna do. But then that happened. And, I was living a little weird life at that time too, just Vegas life, youngster doing his thing. But that really put me on a search to find fuck what anybody tells me. I need to find this shit. And I need to figure it out because no one warned me. I was so mad that no one warned me about death. Didn't even give me, none of my parents or no one around me was like, hey, dude, death fucking sucks. I just got to tell you this now. 20 years old, figuring it out just on some random shit that happens to no one. It really ripped my soul. And my brother he's my only full brother. I have two half sisters, half brother and half sister that I'm with. And they're my full blood all the time, but it's special because he was my only full blood brother. So now that has just played a mark in everywhere in my life. I didn't know at that time in the sense of how can I articulate this now at that time? I just knew that my brother wasn't here. I'm hurting. And so I was like, now I have to live two lives. I have to live stronger. But then I just had a series of, I had a 3-year awakening or awakening, but a reality check because my brother died in March of 2009. Then I had a baby in March of 2008. My brother died in March of 2008. I had my first son in April 2009. And then I deployed 10 days later for 11 months to Afghanistan. 2 months to go train. And then I think it was 9.5 months, 10 months in theater in Afghanistan.
Wow.
And then coming back to life to now I had a wife and now I had a son. My brother died. I was just in go mode. And then I felt like I fell into do what society tells you to do for husbands,
Right,
you know, and,
right.
and fathers, just like get your shit together.
Yeah.
My kid coming out, honestly, I was thinking about this yesterday, it was probably beyond my brother. So I have a thing with the three main men in my life, my brother, my oldest son, and my youngest son. And I was taking this college class and they made me talk about moments and someone influenced you. And each one of their death and life experiences for me changed me.
Right.
My brother dying showed me like this shit is fucking fragile and we're off this bitch.
Yeah.
Like it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
100%.
And so that just like kind of tore me up. But then my oldest son, just how he is and who he is, gave me like a purpose. I was like, now I got a kid and I got to fucking show up because I have my own abandonment wounds from my father. And I didn't want to be that for my kid. I am, like you said earlier, legacy, like I am changing my bloodline. Like I am. Like there's no other thing that's going on. I know what I'm doing, know what I'm trying to do now. It's not that I know what I'm doing. I know where my intention is and I'm going to figure out whatever's coming. You know, I'll get to know it. And then my third is my youngest son who's just like passionate for life. He's just a fucking normal second child who's just fucking, you know?
Yeah.
But so it was like purpose and then enjoyment. So I felt like it was a cycle. I got hit with death and I got touched God and it fucking burned. It's like that Feel song by Labyrinth. I got touched by God and it fucked me up. Like, you're goddamn right. Then my son comes and turns me on. Like, okay, no matter what happens, now I am responsible for somebody.
Yeah.
This dude is my dude and I'm going to be here for that guy. And then the third one was just like, okay, well now those two are the hard, not gonna say the hard ones, but the ones that are like, let's go.
Yeah.
Now the other one's like, enjoy life. Like have fun. Don't take it too seriously.
Right.
And do what you can. And through this process, I've come up with my own phrase, decisive element. And I came up when I started a podcast, but I had a friend refer that to me based off some book about teachers. And it came from a phrase in a book or something about that. Teachers are decisive element. And I really appreciated that. So I brought that. So that's why I resonate with like what you're talking about with this and how it changes, because I feel like there's a moment for everybody. Yeah. And my moment was my brother. But now I feel like every moment is kind of becoming that now. Yeah. Where I can realize now how I want to react and how I don't want to react, or how the flow of life continues and if my forcing or going against. Right. So now it seems to mature in a more, I take it moment by moment feeling, but really witnessing my brother going through that. I've been dealing with PTSD from that moment for like, honestly, forever. And I don't think it's going to go away. I've learned so much about that stuff. So I would say that is the one, that night, March 19th, or March 18th, 2028, rolled into March 19th is what like pushed everything to the side, bro. It's wild, man. It was heavy for a long time, dude.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, you had a lot to go through.
Yeah.
So I know how and why your pacing was the way it was and saying all this, and yet to like bring it back to like the gravity and the seriousness of you being there. Yeah. Like trying to resuscitate him and like everything that follows, like you said, like one of the topics that comes on here a lot is grief. Grief being one of the biggest teachers, grief being the portal and the gateway towards humility and then gratitude. Right? Like it's almost like you cannot be in gratitude if you are not attached to grief in some way. Because it's like, it's just the real shit. It's not like, oh yay, some trivial thing happened. It's like, I'm just so grateful to be here and to love the ones I love and be able to show up for them and to have purpose and be able to fulfill that, right? And be here and do it as best as I can as long as I can. That's true humility and gratitude. And yeah, you know, like obviously there's no desire for me to have anyone experience tragedy or trauma and anything like that. And yet at the same time, it's like, I didn't know that about you. And it actually makes sense to me now as to how you show up and how you're able to operate in the, you know, there's not that many people, even if they are legacy, you know, in regards to military, that keep going and also do the stuff that you do as well. Yeah. Like, yes, we know each other through men's work. Yeah. And at the same time, like, what you've chosen to do, which I'd love for you to speak on, like in the military, like you've been processing a deep level of inner knowing, a deep level of accountability and ownership of not running from the dark place, right? It's easy to fight against the dark place or to fight against fear and to go out and be the hard ass and whatever. Like that's not necessarily attached to both the masculine and the feminine and integrating them appropriately. You having that incident or that occurrence in your life, and then that really shifting how you are, it kind of makes sense to me as to how you have developed into this person in the military who's doing something very groundbreaking, you know? So yeah, would you like to speak to that? Because how long have you been in the military, and how long has it been? Like, what's your position in that, and what are you doing now? Because from when we last talked, you were doing something that I never heard of or didn't even know the military was open to.
You're talking about that course, right?
Yeah.
So I've been, honestly, next month we'll hit 18 years in.
Wow, that's insane, dude.
I'll hit 18 years in, man. And I've been 18 years. I'm an E8 Master Sergeant in the Army National Guard. So I am active duty AGR for the Army, the Nevada Army National Guard. So 18 years. So I did everything from kick indoors, what you think the Army does as a 19 Delta Cav Scout.
Yeah.
Like radio bombs, did all that.
Yeah.
That was the first 8 years of my career. It's what I do when I've been to Afghanistan. But then I needed a shift and I went to recruiting. So I've been in recruiting now ever since. So I was a recruiter and then I was like an office manager. We have different names for things, but office manager. And then now I'm like an area manager recruiter. I help manage three recruiting offices. I'm about to change that position. In the military, we consistent kind of change every 3 to 4 or 5 years. So I got a little something there. But what we were doing in the National Guard was my general was awesome dude. Brought in a class, I guess, it's just like an inspirational class about teaching about human behavior. And it aligned with me so beautifully because I've been building my own class for myself. When I started reading books and listening to all the podcasts and doing all the things, I was looking for the patterns, right? Everything's patterns and synchronicity, not synchronicity, but it is, but patterns in the universe.
Yeah.
Everything from the stock market to how a kid grows to different things, just pressure. There's patterns in all the things. So I was looking for that. And throughout that thing, I kind of discovered the same course, but they were there. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. So they come, and it was called Purple Resolve at the time. I think they're transitioning something else. But long story short, we're teaching people to look in the mirror. Yeah. That you need to be good. You can be a soldier, but it's time to be mentally and emotionally fit too, and spiritually. Not just be the good boy old thing or the good sister old thing, and we're just hardcore. Yeah. It's like, no, we need to operate. Everyone knows the statistic of 22 vets suicide a day, right? And all these different types of things that are out there. Well, not everyone does, but it's like common culture knowledge where there's a vet issue. There's things that are happening, 100%. Right? So Nevada was like, well, let's make sure our people let's stay in. If they're with us, you know, the military doesn't want people to come home. And whenever I say with the military is my personal opinion, by the way, like this is not DOD department. Like I'm just putting that out there that I am separate. It's my own opinion. Yeah. But from my perspective, the military doesn't want you to come home and be fucked up. Like that's not the job, right? Yeah. They want you to come back. Bad PR. Yeah. And integrate. and integrate and be back with everybody. Yeah. And you know, I feel like I have a great respect for the military. Yeah, I'm a third generation in. It just kind of aligned that way. You know, maybe my sons get in, maybe they don't. That's on them. I don't really, whatever. But it's just the full human. So the military, or at least the Army, it's about the full human now. It's not just be good at war, come home, and then do it. It's like, no, spiritual, mental, emotional, financial, all the things. And there's a bunch of things, resources that vets can get to, or active duty members, guard members. It's all there for them. Yeah. But this course, what I appreciated is that you're coming into our culture, which is the Nevada Army National Guard. This is how we're going to talk. This is how we operate. And it's about looking in the mirror. It's about understanding your why. Like they had Simon Sinek. We talked about Simon Sinek. Start with your why. Franklin, Viktor Franklin, and Friedrich Nietzsche. Anybody who has a how, or anybody who has a why can withstand a how. Right. So we're teaching little things, and we teach breath work in the course. They taught meditation. They taught all these different, leading edge things that we kind of are normal to in the men's work and with each other. Right. Just how you did the breath right here. They're bringing that into the military, and little by little started to spread. So it was in Vegas. I was one of the first 4 instructors for it. And then we would fly out to, different states and teach it there because different states picked it up too. We got a mental health issue in this country, not just in the military. Everywhere. Right? So it's like, how can we do our part in our organization to bring this forward? So I really appreciate about the organization and how that was coming to light. And obviously I do the men's work outside. So it just kind of like, I'm already doing this. This is perfect. I'm good at speaking. I'm good at public speaking. And that's, so it's like, let me come in. They want me in and I'm there. So it's just been a thing. It's like but the military is so rugged too. There's a culture there, right? So it's like,
of course,
you got to get through. And I think what I find just about anything you want to get through is that it's about the right story and the energy about it.
Yeah.
People want to feel that you're good. They want to feel that you're happy. They don't want to just see the words in your products and all this bullshit. Yeah. Like, you're just giving me bullshit if I'm with you and you don't make me feel alive. Yeah. And I think that's something that I've really tried to bring in my own life, period, because I've witnessed death, because I've been to war, and because of all these things that happened to me, I want to feel alive. I want to be alive. I want to live alive. And I want to enjoy this life as best as possible. And I think the things that we can't control, I think our body, just like how it knows we're going to die one day, it's, I think, our mind that comes up with all that shit. Like 100%. It's in us that we know one day we're going to surrender. Yeah. Well, I feel like there's a peace that can come with maturity through dealing with life circumstances, right? There's rituals, there's the way we talk, how we connect, all these different tools that we have to come to peace with what it is. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. We're gonna die, we're out this place. And recently I got divorced. So that was another thing that came up, and how much I was grieving through that whole time. You said something earlier about like, I 100% agree, man. And that's kind of like my first project I'm working on is a grief writing book. And you know, well, I'll just tell you the name. It's called The Grieving Man, right? And it's going to be a poetry book with like my mental structure on how I allowed myself fully to go into grief after I got separated from my ex-wife. Yeah. And how I felt like I realized I was still grieving my brother. I felt like I grieved my whole life before. But now it's like, and I love that I'm here on this time, it's just alignment, right? Because now I feel like the spring has finally come. The fall came, the winter was fucking cold as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm starting to bloom. Yeah. I can feel the sprouting. I can feel the openness. And I think if we don't grieve, especially as men, but I think as people, period, you don't know your purpose. You don't know your why. True. You don't know what you want out of life. You don't know what's important. So I was watching. Agreed. I was watching that one dude. I forgot his name. The big company, the graphics card, Nevada, whatever. Nvidia. Yeah. He made a little video, made a comment about everyone needs to suffer. Like, I don't want you to suffer a lot, but like people who, I think people who have high expectations tend to not be low in resiliency. So, you know, even as a father, it makes me think about that. How do I put my sons into situations to toughen them up? Yeah. Beyond me, though. Right. Where they go to a training or they do this. Like, how do I get my son where we live a good, comfortable life, nice life, where we go in there with all things? But how do we bring that out of him? Yeah. There's a part of me that feels like I got to push him in there. And there's another part of me that's like, life's going to come. You know what I'm saying? But what I do is try to pre-warn them now. I made a promise to my sons, and it was like, hey, I'm gonna teach you whatever I know now, at their level as they keep moving up and requesting. So I think we have to grieve because it lets us know the direction in life. You might not know exactly the boundaries, your left and right limits, but you know, I have to go this way. Yeah. And I think that's what grief has done for me. Now it's like I have a flame that no one can put out. That, you know, like, it's just like I got divorced too, bro. It's like everyone can leave me, dude. Like, and that's the thing. Even my kids, dude. And that was a thing that I had to realize in grief. So, like, my book I'm writing is pretty much, it's going to be my process of this grief in the last 3 years and how it just really fucked me up. Like, it fucked me up. Yeah. But I let it. And I purposely was like, I would tell people like, hey, I'm not good. Like, I'm letting you guys know, I'm not going to act like I'm good. Yeah. And that had such, I'm so grateful that I listened to the intuitive part of me, man. And just like, I need this right now. Yeah. And I just
gotta honor it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it propelled me into a state of just like lots of tears, lots of crying. But also when people ask me like, are you okay? And the answer was no, this is what's happening. Yeah. Little did I know how much conversations would start to build in there with my family members, with my aunts and my uncles. And like, we were just starting so much different healing on topics we didn't talk about, and friends and family. That's how I met, you bros and, the whole organization and everything. So it kind of propelled me to jump into the unknown. I'm already fucking here. Let's figure it out. Right, let's fucking figure it out, dude.
Bro.
And then
100%.
I've read books on grief. I read this. I was reading all the stuff, the divorce books. I've read psychology. I was in psychology for a long time. It's like everyone says the same shit. You just got to feel it.
Yeah.
But I think what people don't explain, and what I want to explain a lot, is the mental structure of it. And I'm going to do it in a feminine, masculine way, where the masculine is my written structural mental picture of how I think about it. Yeah. And then my poems and my free flow writings are the feminine that comes up.
Yeah.
Right. Because as a man, it feels crazy when you fucking really have to grieve. And maybe everybody, and women too, right? Like
yeah, but no, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
There's a reason why we scream and punch each other and do a lot to get there.
And
right?
that's a beautiful thing, because that is what I appreciated about going to Sacred Sons and doing the work there. Yeah. Is because I remember for a while I had this feeling that I can't let go with my family.
100%.
And I'm Hispanic, dude. So there's a lot of women, and the men, my uncles and tios that are there, like they just don't have the tools. They don't have the tools. And I knew the women wanted me to feel better, and I can see they would tell, but I just felt like they can't hold this. So when I met the bros, and it really came out of me, and it was like, I just let it all come out. Yeah.
With support of that.
With support. Yeah, of course. But
like they're there with you.
Exactly. Going through the whole thing. Yeah. And it really helped me compartmentalize in my mind. So when I was in grief, is a spirit, bro. I'm convinced that it's a spirit, because it's like a wave that comes on. Yeah. And you're not controlling it. Yeah. When it's real and it's tapped into you, I have to cry. Like it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of now. And when it's really there, it comes out of you. And I think, everyone needs to allow that space. And I think as a culture and as a collective, we need to learn how to just hold space and just listen to somebody be there, because really that's all they need. They don't need words. They don't need hugs. They just maybe just hold their hand. Yeah. Hold their back.
Or even spaces that normalize the process of grief.
Yes, we just sit there and let them do it. Like, we got you, bro. We just, moment of silence right now.
Like, one of the things that I've really loved to, or that I would love to bring through, is the sacred fire. Like, when I was over at Standing Rock up in North Dakota, they had an eternal fire that's been going on for over 100 years, same flame. And they brought it there.
Freaking awesome.
They brought part of that flame there, and the fire was tended nonstop all throughout the night by uncles and whoever was there. They sing songs all through the day and throughout the night. And there was prayer. You could go and give prayer there anytime. They have tobacco and sage. Yeah. Whatever you want. Give prayer to the ancestors, give prayer for whatever it is. We don't have spaces like that. We do have churches, we do have synagogues, we have all these things, but where's a non-denominational place where people can just go and pray and grieve? Yeah. Like, not only should we have that, we should have dancing too. Yep. There should be dancing nonstop, and there should be places for grief, because everyone's always going through shit, whether you're at a high or a low. Yep. So I'm in 100% agreement to that.
It's just a process that we need to be able to adapt to, man, because it's like people are they're not okay with their own grief. That's the thing.
And sometimes it's too much to hold on your own.
But it is always too much to hold. Not always, but it's like when it's powerful, it's hard. And that's you feel like you're going crazy, dude. That's literally what I would feel like. I'm in the shower, I'm like, and I'm like choking and this whole thing, and I just can't. I'm panicking. It's like, what the fuck is happening? And in my mind, I'm like, I'm about to go crazy if I let this fully go. 100%. Or I'm gonna throw up and cough my ass off.
Or jump off the fucking roof or some shit. Yeah.
Not that far. Because here's the thing, dude. I feel like as a human, you have to make a decision. Yeah. And your decision is, no matter what the fuck I go through, I'm going to keep living, and I'm going to make it work and figure it out to make this life the way I want it. Because I don't think we exist here for no just fucking reason, dude. Yeah. Even if it's just to be alive. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So it's like, allow your existence to matter. I think, I heard someone you have to give meaning to everything in your life. So I feel like that's one thing that you have to do with your life in the get-go. Understand it's going to be fucked up. Sometime it's coming. It doesn't matter if. Yeah. It's just a matter of when. It's part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it.
So if you can understand that, and you live with truth and understand the tools that you have to get through that, then it becomes, I'm having a fucking blast now. Right?
I remember when we were talking about you going salsa dancing and going dancing on your own. Yeah, after being recently divorced, you're like, I don't know if I can. And then the next time we see you, you're like, I've been dancing with all these ladies. It was completely different Ronnie.
Yeah. Well, it's just learning to step in because what I've learned, doing the men's work too and other places, like every time you want to step in and you do it, you're always better on the other side.
100%.
I'm a different person on the other side.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Because now I got more confidence from doing this, or I learned a lesson here.
Yeah.
And it's just, you got to say yes to life, dude. Like no matter what, you got to say yes. But it seems like when you say yes to life, dude, life says yes to you. And that is the beautiful thing. If you just accept what is, people are going to die, they're going to come, they're going to go. Guess what? You got to live with an open heart regardless, in my view, because I feel like that's a universal law too. Just like integrity. Yeah. Integrity is not just a value. I feel like that shit is in the universe.
100%.
Like,
it's a balance point.
Like, yes, like fucking gravity. There's
100%.
If you are out of integrity or with really out of life, like
shit's coming.
You ever meet somebody like, bro, how does that happen to you? I never have that happen in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's just the magnetic pivot, bro. So people who are in integrity, in with themselves, like life, it takes a little bit of time, but if you just take one step and live in those moments and what's really alive with you, life starts to show you. You meet new friends, like bro. Say, son, I got bros everywhere now. Traveling here, I don't pay for hotels anywhere, dude. You know, like I'm here, I'm there, I'm going here, meet new people over there, and then meeting there and new people. So it's like now I got Montreal, Miami, San Diego, Florida, London, everywhere, Australia. Yeah, you know, and I think that's what the internet's great for. That's what this is great for.
100%.
If you could just use it in the right way, you know? But
agreed.
Yeah, man. It's a lot.
No, it's good.
It's good.
But something I wanted to say that you had spoken about is that when you chose to be vulnerable, the healing started coming in with the family and the friends and everything like that. And that's something recently that I've been experiencing where it's like really, really alive for me and fresh for me right now. I feel like so much of a lot of people, when they take a certain risk or they try to make something and bring something, you know, into manifestation, something new, they're taking a risk, right? Like for me, this was a risk.
Of course.
Everything I'm doing. And it can be tough. And especially if it's like a big venture, there will absolutely be challenges. There will absolutely be potentialities for doubts and for like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, of course.
And we could try to like sugarcoat that. We could try to disguise it, or we could just be real and genuine about where we're at, how we're feeling, and take that risk. And from taking that risk, I've found not only like a lot of support from that, but also specific support in the sense of like different ideas, different, just all sorts of things coming through that I'm just like, wow. And my buddy today who was giving me this business proposition, he's like, bro, you kind of put the call out, you know, just being vulnerable and being genuine about where you're at. I'm like, you're right. I didn't realize that wasn't
it's its own call.
Yeah, that intention wasn't like, hey, give me things or help me do or whatever. It was just like, this is just where I'm at. And it's so funny about how so many, like you said, there's no place for grief, right? There's no place for us to really put that like have that supported in any, there's no container for it. And so people walk around like, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. Let's just, you know, because no one really wants to impose on anyone. I talk about it in the podcast a lot. So sorry, you guys, it's a broken record for me, but I'm a big supporter of going to therapy and also doing mental, all this stuff. But like, I think of it as you having like a cup of like fruit punch or Hawaiian punch or something, and your friends all have white shirts on, or the strangers have white shirts on, and it's like full to the brim, and they're about to bump into you. You know what I mean? And you're just like,
that's not the white tee, bro.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't even like say shit to you right now because I'm gonna spill this all over you if I really open up.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's really good to have places that are receptacles for us to just offload that a little bit. Maybe it's not fully gone, but damn, if it's this full, like I got bros who won't even pick up the phone for me. I'm kind of like that too. Like if I'm going through some shit, I can't even like pick up the phone with lots of dudes, you know, or even think to call them because I'm like, I can't even talk. I got so much there. It's so viscerally alive and at peak that I don't even know how to. I can't even talk you through it because I just I feel like dying in that moment, you know. And so 100% yes, that it's important to grieve. It's important to cry, but it's also important for us to have those spaces and those containers, whether they be friends or. You know, that's why it's good for people to have religions or whatnot. But like having that support specifically is so rare. And a lot of people are feeling very isolated and alone with the internet, even though the internet can connect us. So it's a really fascinating thing. And obviously you being in the military and having that be something that's coming forward, like mental health, not just in the sense of, like post, but actually in, prevention, or in the before the stuff happens, and being able to navigate and regulate the self before that, and even just have an understanding so that when it happens there's a way to process it better. It's
fantastic. I think, and that's one thing I appreciate about the military, because we talk about leadership a lot. And as an EA, like I only have one person above me as E9, and besides position of authorities and stuff, but like it's what we do is it's our job to pass the information back, right? It's our job, and down.
Yeah.
All the way up, we go to war. So like a couple of things that we talk about is that you have to know the position person. You need to know the person's job above you, next to you, and below you.
Yeah.
So if anyone gets knocked out, you're able to operate, right? It's like Jordan Peterson's thing too. I want to be the strongest man at my father's funeral. When you come into my circle, it's my community. You're going to come into this space.
Yeah.
And it's like, we got to learn to pass down these knowledges of the knowledge of grief and of all the things that are already there. So our kids, they're not going to know it because they haven't felt it.
Yeah.
Right? You have to feel these things.
Yeah.
But at least they're going to have a mental picture and a mental clarity, like, oh, is this what they were talking about?
Right.
Is this what grief is?
Right.
Okay, well, if I know this, then let me call right now.
Yeah.
Right? And we just start little by little making it norm, so we do get calls.
Yeah.
Because, and I think that's just patterns of behavior you have to learn and get over, man. Just like, hey, self-leadership, I'm hurting right now, I need to make a call. Like, stop being a fucking bitch. Sorry, but like, stop being that little inside freaking dude that just doesn't want to do it. It's like, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? We've all heard that shit.
Yeah.
So I was tired of that in my life, dude. And specifically, I think when you get sick and tired of enough and everything starts falling apart, it's like, okay, well, what else is the fucking point?
Yeah.
Like, I lost my brother, I went to war, I lost my family, I thought I lost my family, but it's all the things, all the dreams that came with that life die.
Right.
Right. But it's like, okay, and I'm 30, I'm in my mid 30s. Like, I got plenty of life.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to live to 114.
Right? Just 114?
Yeah, bro. 114 is kind of where I'm going right now. And I just keep the mental picture.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful point to make. You got to hold the line, bro.
Yeah.
In the military, you ever hear, right? Hold the line, right?
Yeah.
Hold the line. But we have to hold our visions. We have to hold our future, like what we want to cultivate, what we want to create. No matter what, we got to hold it. And I think first you got to hold with what are the deepest things to you first. What do you want to hold the relationship with yourself? How do you want to hold the relationship with your life? What are your standards for your life? And then expand outside. And I think that's one big lesson that I've learned right now. It was young, it was outside of life. And now it feels like I'm doing the vice versa. Now I'm going internal, external.
Yeah.
And everything, all my friends feel better. The people who are still in my life are more connected. They know what's going on. And I think there's a thing about holding those visions no matter what, because who's going to do it?
Yeah.
And we got to remember, no one's coming, dude.
Yeah.
No one's going to come to make me feel better inside when I'm alone. Right. Or if I get another call one day that my mom died.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Besides be there for you. 100%. And that's what I've learned through the grief too. So it's like, if I'm going to hold this vision, no matter what, it has to withstand the death. So that has been a thing too. It's like, when those deep moments, like, I always take things back to that. Is this true? Does this equal out with this?
Yeah.
Does it hurt the death? If it's bullshit, it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's bullshit. That's not a belief that I want to hold within.
Yeah.
It might be a flavor that I like when I wear clothes or something, but it ain't coming that deep.
Yeah.
Right. And having those boundaries only come from grief. Having those understandings come from grief. And I think as a man, dude, you have to have it, because, I didn't know how to love a woman before because I was with my ex from 19. I started 19. I didn't know all these different things. But you just have to go through life, man.
Yeah.
I think it's just the mentality, just never giving up. And I think what I forged through this whole thing is I'm going to make my bloodline better than what it was. And and there's just no other option.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like that's what it is, man. But I feel like without those hard times, you have to do it. And then the structure in which that place, because bro, like I said earlier, grief is crazy. So learning to deal with that is just a whole nother thing. But you got to really propel. And I think life reflects itself in plants. reflects itself in all the patterns around us. And I think as human beings, sometimes we like to separate ourselves from nature.
Yeah.
We like to separate ourselves and like, we're not going to die. We're not going to go into ground. We're not going to rot and look like that. We're not going to,
Right. The really gnarly, morbid, visceral reality of like what this is.
Yeah.
And yet we're not our bodies.
Exactly.
Right? Like we're inhabiting these bodies and yet, it's, what's fascinating is that dying and passing on is like,
we are a duality, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the thing that makes grief so intense for us is that we are still living this human experience. Like I think about it often, like the reason why I find women attractive is because I'm in a male body, a man,
Yes. Of course.
But if I was a different species, I'd be like, these people look weird.
Yes.
Right. And so everything is relative to me being in this species and where I'm at right now. And when a person dies, it's like, however it is that the struggle is to get to death.
Yep.
Then it is the, what comes after that, we don't know, but it is the level of like not being here. The spirit is not in that vessel anymore. The spirit is not containing the life force anymore.
Yep.
And then we are left with the corpse, like the vessel.
Yes.
And what happens to that and the whole process of it that is, beautiful in the sense of nature and composting into new life. And yet it is so tragic. And how poetic is that? Grief, I've heard grief be talked about many ways in the sense of like the amount that we grieve is the amount that we've loved. Or grief is proof that we've truly loved and all these things. And there's the feeling of loss. There's also the feeling of like, being able to see like, oh, my beloved suffered or my beloved's going through that composting cycle. Like all of it is there. It can be so traumatic. And yet like, how is that not part of the like absolute just natural aspects of life? Even animals grieve, right?
Yep.
And so it's something that is super easy, like you said, to be away from in the concrete jungle. And that's why, I was a 10-year vegan. I'm a proponent of hunting. I think that in the past, our ancestors had grief online to a certain extent because they had a very close relationship with their food.
Of course.
Not only were there family members and people around them, passing away and they saw them in cremation piles like in India or wherever it is, but you're also having this association with life and death with your food. And if you have a culture that's healthy, then you're honoring the death of the animal appropriately. And there is this connection of grief and like, wow, thank you. It takes us to be intentional in order to fully go there with something else if it's not attached to us like a relative or a friend, right? And if we buy our food at a supermarket, a pack of meat or whatever, it's like, yeah, it came from a cow, whatever. The mind is disassociating entirely.
Yeah, it's a side effect of society growing bigger.
100%.
Because
what a blessing, and also
there's just side effects to it. There's side effects to what we've done, and part of that is that everything becomes efficiency because there's so many people.
Right.
And that was the thing with my brother too. It's like, oh, he died. I saw him in the freaking hospital a little bit, and then he was gone for a week, and then I saw him when we put him in the ground.
Right.
So it's different in native cultures, right? 100%. Where it's like they're there the whole time.
Yeah.
And even Costa Rica, I'm from Costa Rica, bro. The person dies, they bury them, if not the next day or 2 days from now.
Because it's so hot, they can't be having them around.
And it's just like the family's there, but it's all happening now. And there's a celebration. Those things are going. Yeah. Here, it's like you're sad, boom, then it's a money process.
100%.
It's a whole fucking thing, dude.
Yeah, it's a business.
So it's just, that's just side effects that I feel like has happened now. It's like, and I think some of these things are not always purposeful. They're just kind of, we're trying to solve a problem, but we're not looking at all the problems. We're very just, this is what I want to solve. And we just get effective in that one thing. Yeah. But then it has these side effects that we didn't know that we need them in our lives.
Yeah. Oh,
we need this death. We need to feel that stuff. And it's just, man, it's just a fucking...
Yeah, well, you're talking about your boys too, and I talked about this with Ugo and with some of my other guests, in that there were rites of passage for boys, in other cultures, and we don't really have that here. Yeah, and also the whole aspect of wanting to protect your children or your loved ones from harm and suffering, and yet never being able to, and that in in trying to enforce boundaries to try to keep them from it, to an extent where it's potentially a little bit extreme or radical, and then telling them, no, this is what will happen, don't do this. The innocent or unexperienced mind of the individual or whatever is going to want to test that.
Of course.
And I'm a prime example of that because I grew up really sheltered. And, you know, my dad lived through the Ronnie King riots. He was like, hey, be careful. Like, LA's what it is, blah, blah. I'm like, not from what I see. I'm cool with everyone. And then I get my car stolen. I get my bike stolen. I get this, that, or whatever, right? Like, be in dangerous situations. And thank God, like, I'm here. I have a purpose, like you said, because, like, I've lived through some stuff where I'm like, wow, I got really lucky, like millions of times, 100%, right?
Yeah.
Can't take that for granted. It's easy to be like, oh yeah, what a coincidence. No, hell no. What an absolute alignment. What a blessing. Oh, that's meant to be. And that's something we should talk about too, is like, what do we decide and what do we have choice over, right? Yeah, man, you know, there's so much that we can get taught, you know, from our parental figures or our guides, mentors, uncles, whatever, aunties. And yet at a certain level, there's love and boundaries that not only we hold for our loved ones, but that we hold for ourselves and how we try to save them, right? Like being the supreme altruist we see in society and in government and stuff is like, that's actually not healthy for the psyche to try to be like, Papa government's got you, or like Papa or mother, you know, guardian figure's got you and is going to protect you from everything. No, there's a certain level of like, it is a roll of the dice to a certain extent. Like, you got to protect them in the ways that you can. And at a certain level, there is the, like, maybe there's a way to facilitate the learning so that it does become a visceral, very fully experienced reality. Ugo had talked about it with his son getting his bike stolen and wanting to react and be like, yo, I told you to, instead of being like, hey, you know, mijo, like, I didn't even ask, like, how it feels to, like, get your bike stolen. And for me, I was like, yeah, like, what if it's like, how does it feel to recognize now, like, it wasn't just me saying these things, but this really does exist out there, right? Like, this isn't just me saying it to say it. Like, you are now having the full, real experience that it's not just words, you know? And how is it that we can help to either paint that picture or help for our loved ones to experience something so that we can protect them from the future things without them actually having to fully suffer through them, right? But just telling them or just trying to keep them from it doesn't necessarily.
It doesn't work, right? Man. And I feel like I do the opposite. I love Jordan Peterson for that, because it's just like, let your kids live.
Yeah.
Like, let them go, let them play, let them jump off the stuff. I let my boys do, you know? It's just what I've learned, especially with my second one, it's about risk management. And that's a military phrase too. But like, life is all about risk management. Like, that's literally all it is.
Yeah.
Is this risk bigger than the reward? Is this one, okay, maybe that's too far. This is good. Yeah. So it's I don't want to push them away from life, because that's part of life, the thrill. You know, I have a rule. If I'm going to get into the ocean, I'm not allowed to touch the ocean. I'm just going to go run and jump in. And those seconds as I'm running to jump in, that anxiety, that, like, we've labeled anxiety bad. It's not bad.
It's excitement.
There's a thing there that's activating inside of you. Yeah. Are you listening to it is the answer. Right. What is it coming from? Yeah. But I feel like that rush to run into the water, that's this life of that's the excitement of life. Yeah. Right? When you go on a date or when you're watching that first movie, it's like they're rushes. They're not fucking calm little things. And maybe when I get older and I'm sitting in my chair and I'm looking at my fucking beautiful grandkids and now I'm calm and I'm like, fuck yeah, I did that shit, right? But right now, 36-year-old motherfuckers like, this shit's fucking dope, right? Yeah. And I think that is a thing just to cultivate within ourselves, the excitement of life. Just because I feel anxious does not mean I should stop at what I'm doing. Yeah. This is a flag for what's happening. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. What do I need? What do I want to do? What's stopping me? Like, there's just so many questions in that space to get there. Right. But I think just, the fire of life, man, through that space, dude. It's just fucking, it's just a beautiful expression in there. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And that kind of segues into a topic that I love to talk to you about, because, like, you know, anxiety and excitement are literally like the same thing, just with a different reframe of perspective, right, on positive or negative outcome. Yeah. And in that is a choice, right? Yeah. And one of the main, like the cornerstone of this podcast or this brand and what I am all about on my little soapbox is that no matter, you know, what we choose, we are always responsible for choosing how we respond and perceive our reality. That doesn't mean that we choose the circumstances that we're put in, right? A lot of that is outside of our control. And yet we could be in a very negative circumstance, quote unquote, or tragic circumstance, and choose to believe like, And it would actually be very justified based on past experiences because we have been through shit.
Yeah.
And eventually it always leads to something good because otherwise we wouldn't be here, right? It's just not a full life of just full on tragedy. And in that case, would it, be beneficial for us to show up in a space of gratitude, in a space of positivity, in a space of trust and faith in the midst of tragedy, and show up differently instead of boohoo, I'm the victim, woe is me. Even though sometimes, I don't want to say we can't help it, but sometimes it feels normal to, and sometimes we'll still go there.
I realize that I think that's just a feeling that we feel.
Yeah.
Because as a writing and poetry, it's like I read some of my posts, my writings now, and it's like, damn, you were in something then.
Yeah, because you don't feel it
Or
now.
even songs. I hate fucking songs where they're talking about, in the Weeknd song, if I would have says, like, if you're not in my bed, I'm going to die and cry. I'm like, hell no, woman, I'm going to be alive and thriving. I'm going to be alive and thriving, right? But we're being brainwashed by our songs, bro.
Oh, right? That's a whole nother thing.
We're singing these songs.
The music industry's sick, bro.
Passionately.
Yeah.
And I'm telling myself that I'm not going to get by because this woman's not in my bed.
Right.
No, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm living my life.
Fuck you, Weeknd. I was kidding.
Not that person, just like fucking whatever. Like, no, dude, I'm living my life regardless of what happens to my life. And that's where it comes like, it's like I understand the feeling of a victim is real, just like grief, right?
Right.
It does feel like it, but I'm not, when I say that, I don't want to take away the fact that in that moment, when me and my wife were getting divorced and I'm not there, there were moments where I felt like she's not here, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Right? The body literally, they connect. Mm-hmm. You can read about it, how the hearts sync together, how the man and the menstrual, I knew in her menstrual was, all the things where you're entangled with each other. Mm-hmm. So separating feels like death because it's a part of the disconnect.
Yeah.
Your body has to reshift, find a whole new homeostasis.
Right.
But it's just like a way of understanding that a split is really happening. It's like two cells are forming out of one. Like one went and now back to two cells. Yeah. Right? It does feel like that. But I just think if we keep singing these songs over and over again, bro, it's like a programming that I'm just telling myself that. So I just became very apparent. And it's funny because it's just in the damn song, but it's real. And I'm telling myself this and I don't want to live that way. So I think the victim might be, it feels like it's a real kind of emotion or a situation in which we find ourselves. But I think that the choice is like, let's not choose that because I feel like we're in an age where we know where this goes.
I mean, it's all around us right now.
I know, but that's how I feel about it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure he feels like I know where if I'm a victim, then I'm gonna choose these type of lifestyles.
100%.
I'm gonna choose these type of friends, and I'm gonna probably get depressed. I'm not going outside, and then I'm getting dying suicide,
or just blame everyone else for everything, and
just fucking be alone and be unhappy, dude.
Yeah,
and then take it out on the fucking grocery person, and take it out on the goddamn phone call with the credit card or whatever. How people treat anybody at any places at different
100%.
moments. Like you said, if we're not doing that, then you're becoming. I love that fucking the juice, the white shirts, but Kool-Aid. I love the Kool-Aid. Because you're spilling. Because if you don't do that, then you're spilling on other people.
Right.
And I don't want to be a fucking old, crusty, angry man.
No.
But angry grandpas. Remember that? What was that? There's the old kids. There was like two grandpas were always fucking fighting. But like, I don't want to be that. Yeah. I want to be a grandpa chilling, crawling on the floor with my grandkids and fucking rolling around and choosing that life. So I think it is a choice after all, because you're right. Like we have, in some level, we have every reason to just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna sit around here and get fucked up all day and do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and my whole stance is that because you are powerful enough and we have all been blessed with that opportunity of free will, of sovereignty, to literally create or destroy.
Yeah.
Right? Just as I can honor myself and will honor myself, I have to honor your path in whatever you choose to do. Now, it doesn't make it right or wrong. One might be healthy or not. The thing that I feel is the most unhealthy and the thing that I find is the most out of alignment and out of integrity is when we have society that obviously knows better, and the powers that be or whatever, and media and so forth, putting out that people are disempowered and don't have a choice and aren't powerful enough to make a choice, and they are perpetual victims.
And they're lying to us.
Yeah, creating this whole sea of people that are so passionate and emotionally unregulated in that passion of being perpetual victims, right? Like if someone wants to go and be the 600-pound life, like all power to you. And at the same time, you can't tell me that that's out of integrity when there's starving people in the world, that that's not healthy to do. But if that's what you choose to do, fine. No one else should have to pay for your medical bills. No one else should have to like necessarily, I don't want to say not feel sorry for you, but the point is like we are making our choices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you are free to make your choices because you're a divine being.
Yes.
And we have to honor each other in that. And at the same time, let's just be real. You are so powerful in making those choices, whether it is to create or destroy, and there are consequences for those.
And I think I'm a firm believer in peer pressure, motherfucker. Like, I believe
especially
in peer
if it's
pressure
healthy.
because in both ways, because your 600 pounds doesn't just affect you, dude.
Yeah.
Your 600 pounds is affecting your family and how
100%.
and what mental things you're going through or what's fucking happened here. Or so it's like I have a big Hispanic family, man, and you know we have meetings sometimes when it's time to come together. And my brother and sister, my mom, we come together and it's like, nah, dude, we got to hash some shit out because our culture is not the way we want it to go, and now I want it to be more intentional and all these things, but. It's about like, hey, you're part of me. And I think it was Bob something. I have a book by him, but I haven't read it yet. But I saw the reel. It's like, and it's a perfect thing. I take care of me. Yeah. The way I help take care of you is by taking care of me.
Yeah, agreed.
Right, and that's
oxygen mask.
Yes, exactly, the same thing.
Yeah,
and that is really something that I'm very sensitive to now with my family, with my kids and my like immediate family. If you can't tell, I'm a very passionate person, fucking moving a lot, right? Just so it's like a lot of stuff that's happening, right? And if I feel sometimes that they're off or they're off doing this and they're doing that, or like, you know, people are having heart attacks or this or that, I'm like, let's get our shit together.
Yeah.
And it's really what I learned. It was my defense mechanism because I'm hurt that you're hurting.
Yeah.
I'm hurt that my sisters had felt this. My stepdad did this. My dad, whatever it is, like you guys are the most closest people to me.
Yeah.
So when you do something or you don't take care of your body or I see you hurting or you're going through this over and over again, you know, my mom has lupus, bro. Like maybe she don't want to say that, but whatever. Like, and witnessing my mom consistently have some type of pain that I can't see, that I can't fucking do it. It's like my mom, you know, as a son, bro, watching my mother deal with my brother died is a hard thing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's the same thing now that this is unfolding. It's like you have to watch people go down and you can't do nothing about it.
Because they make their own choices.
They make their own choices.
Yeah.
But I'm here to say, like, you affect the people around you.
Agreed.
And you need to take full ownership of those people around you by taking ownership of your own life, your own health, and all the aspects. Because then I'm dealing with you.
Right.
Right? Then the healthiest people are the ones that's going to be dealing with you eventually.
Well, I mean, agreed. I would say that more than they have to, it's an invitation, right? Because once again, we can't infringe on a sovereign being's right to do something. You can't say that, and we can't peer pressure them. We can't say, hey, fucking get your shit together. Like, stop.
I'm going to say, you and my family, bro, I'm going to fucking tell you what it is.
I know.
I can't control you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, eventually I get over it, right? Eventually I get over it.
Fuck, they're not doing it.
Eventually I get over it, right? And that's my own little fucking thing that I got. I know I'm a little rough around the edges when it comes to that, but like, it's because I fucking care.
I get it.
At the end of the day, it's because I care.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like there's enough people in our society that are loud enough to tell you to get your shit together.
Yeah.
And I think as men, we need to get our shit together so that we can be the inspiration, the motivation, and give purpose. Like the army gives leadership is purpose. That's so
Join
funny.
the army.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want.
Inspiration, motivation, and direction.
Yeah.
Right? I have to give you those three things. Where are we going? Get inspired and watch me. Like, we're going to do this. You're not just going to do it. So, like, I'm doing my best to do this, too. It's not just about I'm yelling at y'all. I'm at the gym as much as I can. I'm watching what I feel. I'm doing all the things, you know? And I think it's just, this is beautiful. It goes from what you said earlier. It's beautiful because really all I want to do is party.
You know, I mean,
all I want to do is have a good time now.
Until you have to grieve, let's
Until
just party
I have to
it
do
up.
the thing, let's have a good time.
100%.
And even when I'm grieving, let me dance a little bit and wiggle the shit out.
Right.
Because dance is my medicine. I know it's yours too, bro.
100%.
I know where we're at there. You know.
Yeah.
But it's a thing that has to move. And
gotta move that energy.
You know, I have a bunch of little sayings, bro. I tell my dad, he's like 65. I'm like, hey, movement is life. Stay alert, stay alive.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to Afghanistan, you know, you're going to war, a lot of theaters, a lot of things in the military is complacency kills. Complacency kills.
100.
Because you get used to everywhere, bro. I got used to waking up in a bee hut. I got used to being on top of a gun truck. I got used to walking in Afghanistan. I got used to in the dirt looking at people that want to hurt me. I got used to that lifestyle.
Yeah.
You'll get used to everything. That's why it's like when you want a healthy relationship, you have to grieve and go through all the bad shit. But when you first get a healthy relationship, it don't feel like a healthy relationship because your nervous system ain't used to it. So you have to go through a process and commitment of I'm staying through this thing. And I guess in some way, that's what I'm saying a lot through this whole thing. It's about being consistent. And it doesn't need to, like discipline, I understand discipline, and it's a thing and you have to stay disciplined. But I also feel like once you really figure out the why and why you're doing what you're doing and see the positive effects of it, then you're going to naturally flow that way.
Yeah.
But you have to keep pushing that way because your nervous system gets lazy. You want to hang out. So it just needs to become part of you. I work out. That is my identity. I do this. This is my identity. And maybe not so much identity, but part of my essence on what I believe will make my life more positive, fulfilling, and joyful. Yeah. And I'll be able to like, I got 2 rules for life right now, bro. This is where I'm kind of at, right? Physically, dude. Physically, like what I want to do. Physically.
When Ronnie leans into the mic, you're in for something.
2 rules. I'm trying to walk my whole fucking life, and I'm trying to fuck my whole fucking life. But those 2...
He's fucking at 114.
That's it. But those... You're goddamn right. But those 2...
feels good.
If you just think about those 2 things. Food, movement, community.
Prostate massages.
All the things, right? Making sure that prostate flows. It's not a fucking thing where guys die of prostate.
I'm being entirely serious.
Men hold on to their shit. Being in men's work, we know.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, bro, that's killing you. You can't grieve. You think you're a hard ass and all the other things. So I mean, it sounds funny, but it's true too. No, tell me that's not real.
I mean, God gave you a G-spot in your asshole, so.
No fingers, bro. Relax, bro. Relax.
I'm just saying, you might, if you're gonna get to 114, you're probably gonna need some prostate massages.
Hey.
Yeah.
At 114, at 114, I'm gonna be like, hey, whatever, dog. At 114, I'm like, who cares now?
No, you're probably going to need them routine throughout your life to get there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, though, like, what you're talking about is a standard of life. Like, like everything is a...
Yes.
In order to reach a certain aspect of anything, like, you have to have standards. Whether that's you living a 114, fucking walking, all the things. But, like, ultimately... people don't have standards. Like we've come so far in the space, and so what a beautiful thing to be in America where we do have the freedom to live all these different, extremities of existence.
100%.
You know,
we have a spectrum here
where we could just be like insanely beyond morbidly obese, and we could be someone who's just like a professional victim and all different varieties and all these things, and also just be the most badass sovereign, doing everything right to the T. We have the capability and the freedom to do all of that. And yet, if we do want to get somewhere, obviously we have to have standards, right? And that's the best way that we can choose to show up in the world, and as well as to our children, our legacy. Yeah. And like you said, everything that we do affects those around us and those that we love, and goes beyond that as well. And I love that you're talking about, the 500-pound life, whatever affects their family, whoever else. Like, the thing that drives me wild is I'm all about fairness, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I did something wrong, I'm going to feel really bad.
Yeah.
If I didn't do something wrong, I'm going to fight to the end. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
This equation doesn't fit, right? When there are people who choose to shame other people or be professional victims and try to blame people, and that's happening a lot in our society
100%.
right now. And it's like, you're eating way more food than you need. Like, there are people who are starving. What's going on there, right? How is that, how is there's so many opportunities for hurt. And I'm not trying to say like everyone who's overweight, like I've struggled my weight on my life. I'm just using that as an example. But point being, like, it's real easy to point fingers and not look inward and point the finger at ourselves and create standards for ourselves and not choose to be hypocrites.
Yes, right.
And that should be the first thing we do, is to look inward and be like, where am I not showing up appropriately? Where am I out of integrity? And how can I come into alignment with my integrity and not just be pointing out and being like, oh, it's the rich people's fault, or it's these people's fault. These people are bigots. These people, it's like, all right, maybe. And like, what can we do? Are these individuals who are shouting these things or being these ways or acting out of sorts, are they really the image of keeping standards for themselves and of really showing up in a good way? Not at all, right? And that's something that I'd like to see shift within society, because those people are beautiful people. They're just they're misled, and potentially they're just not, in a healthy way.
I think it's coming, man. To be quite honest, I feel the internet is finally doing its tipping point.
It's, bro.
We're almost
wild, right?
almost at the tipping point. I can feel. For myself, I feel like we're coming to a tipping point, and part of that right now is because like that presidential debate.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
It's no longer, you can't hide.
No.
That's the thing. And as much as, no, I love it. You can't hide.
Yeah.
Stop hiding.
Yeah.
Because eventually everything's coming out. The president, you can see.
The apocalypse means the great revealing.
Yeah,
right?
You can see how all these people are false. You can see the presidents. You can see all these things, how it's just lying. And they're reflections of us, bro, right? Our society is reflections of the individual, and vice versa.
The macrocosm, microcosm.
Exactly, right? The vice versa. So if we want real leadership in this country, we need to be providing our own leadership in this country. Yeah. So I need you to step up. 100%. We need to step up. Everybody needs to step up.
Yeah.
No matter what it is in America or throughout the world. I'm talking America right now, but it's like we need everyone to step up, because it's a reflection of us, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
We let this get here.
Yeah.
And now, like, I'm 36, I'm barely figuring out this goddamn system. It's like, I cannot not voice something.
100%.
And I think that's why I want to be a writer now, more than like, I want to be a writer in the sense of like, I want to let go. I'm just going to say what I want to say and let go. I don't want to be tied to a certain brand or a certain thing all the time. It's like, no, dude, this is what I'm going through now. This is what's alive in me and present in these moments. And I think right now what's really alive in me in this sense is leadership, dude, in this country.
Yeah.
If we want the leadership to be honorable and that pride of America, like we all have this invisible pride that it's like that we're American, we're fucking here, but that shit just don't come. And I think Robert Greene had a beautiful TED Talk, or not a TED Talk, but like a YouTube video, and it'll talk about 4 generations. And by the 4th generation, a new spirit has to arise, right? Yeah. So everyone's like, and I have a fascination with this, but if you look throughout the last couple of years in the decade, a trend has been like apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah. On top of that, it's been like Avenger movies. Right. So it's like, so we think the apocalypse is coming, but we also have a myth that we can rise to the occasion and we can figure it out.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
But yet it's like people want society to burn, dude. And I think
it's a cop-out.
Maybe.
Because it's them not doing their own work and rising to the occasion.
Yeah. Because it's like a lazy thing. Well, I guess just us all going to collapse, so fuck it. It's like, no, it doesn't have to collapse. No. We can do a little better, and everyone has dips. So I'm going to say this. America's not going to collapse right now. Yeah, We're not going to be the Roman Empire and just fucking go to nowhere. Yeah. We just have to rise to the occasion, and we have to get new leadership in which we are inspired by, who really hold the line, whoever that is, and actually bring people together. A leader does not always need to know how to do it. I did not say in, my little army definition of purpose, motivation, and direction, did I say fucking skills of whatever that needs to do. Yeah. I'm giving you a purpose, I'm giving you direction, and I'm gonna motivate you. Yeah. Right? And and that is what a leader does. They have to learn to bring people together. So you want the country to feel better, man? Work on your family. Work on yourself. Yeah. Because the family is falling apart, and we all want it back, though. We're all tired of this shit right now. Of course. So I just feel like I'm really grateful. As much as it was crazy, and it is crazy, I'm grateful to be alive right now, man. Oh, it's exciting. Because this is fucking crazy time.
It's wild.
We have fucking all the things.
AI, everything.
All the things that are coming that I literally, you're my age, right? So it's like we grew up with no phones. Right. Fucking, I was watching You Got Mail. And I forgot. And I heard them getting on the internet. All this stuff.
AOL, bro.
Yeah, AOL and all that. And now it's like I have a fucking computer in my pocket all the time with me.
Our dreams.
I am a fucking robot. Yeah. So what are we going to see in 40 years, dude?
I mean,
our whole life is transition.
So different in 10.
Right? So different. I agree too, right? But it's a main thing that's grounding, and it's the truth, is building resiliency. Yeah. Yeah. We have to be able to bend, and we have to be able to shift, and we have to be able to get into ourselves and watch our psyche shift and change, right? There's a lot of sayings to keep it real, keep it 100. that, or I never change, or like, I don't keep it 100, keep it real is not the same as being honest and respectful.
100%. Right. I just use that. See that double?
Oh, yeah. So it's like, it's a thing that we need to cultivate. So, and I guess I say all this because leadership comes from resiliency. You can't be a leader if you haven't gone through shit. You have to, and I mean like a successful leader who's someone who's been a lot of people move. You have to go through the things. So if you want to be a leader in your life, go explore. Yeah. Go find the places at your edges and say yes to them. Go travel the world and be in different places. Go have different experiences you've never been. If you're a raver, go to a mosh pit. If you're a mosh pit, go to a raver. Go to a hip hop concert. Do all these different things. Yeah. Because once a leader sees, we're all the same shit, dude. Yeah. Even though it's just, you're flavored a little bit here. Maybe you got some sparkles, a little color over there, a little different swag over here and whatever. But we all want the same thing, dude. Yeah. And I think once we start coming together in individual selves, we can come together collectively. And that's just a recognition. And I look forward to seeing our society where it's pro-human. Because right now we're pro-business. And I think we can be both. We can be pro-business and pro-human. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Because pro-human is just, let's have healthy food without the shit in it. Let's have freaking green things everywhere. All the things that psychology is already proving, that sociology is already done. We're not talking about abstract, non-studied things, right? It's all here. Yeah. So why do we not do that? And it's just interesting that America doesn't do that while the rest of the world, I won't say the rest everywhere, but like Europe has different places open and all these different places where no GMOs or this or whatever. 100%. All those different things. You know, go Montreal fucking airport. There's green everywhere. It's like, it's such a great airport. It's such a great airport, right? Yeah. It's live. When you walk in there, it feels amazing. Yeah. Yeah. You know, so it's just like, let's make it more us. So the invitation is to get yourself creative, get yourself experience, and then bring that through the world. Agreed. Because we need your flavor. Yeah. Because when people actually bring their flavor, they bring their essence. And then when we're online and we're watching these fucking debates or whatever else, you can feel that they're authentic. Yeah. If you're authentic, you can feel other people's authenticity.
100%. And this is where I'm such a big proponent of people being creators, because that's inherently what we are. We're literally a nation that's founded off of entrepreneurship. And yes, we're not taught that in school. We're in factory schools. And at the same time, if we do show up in a level of sovereignty and accountability of literally wielding ultimate power, you have the power to create. And so it's very easy to point the finger and be like, look at what all these rich people are creating. It's like, there are a lot of business owners who came from nothing. The most influential stories are people who come from nothing. They're not people who are trust fund babies. Sometimes trust fund babies have it the hardest because they have so much pressure, they just fucking can't handle it, and they've been coddled their whole lives. They just end up offing themselves or doing some other thing. Right?
I was just talking to a family member about that this morning, how she feels like she has to be something because of how her parents were. This is this. I was yeah, dude, it's a thing.
It's a thing. And so... and yet not everyone, so many people utilize that as a cop-out. Oh, I grew up this way. I don't have the opportunities that everyone else does. I don't have the opportunities of the white man. It's like, do you think that that's how really great people like Kobe Bryant, Oprah, like we could just keep going. Yeah. We could keep going. The point is that magnanimous individuals, like epic individuals, don't let shit stop them.
Don't quit.
And some of the most beautiful things that have arisen within our society come from people who are choosing to just create and show up there and not let stuff stop them, not let these narratives stop them. And it's what's fascinating about America and, like you said, apocalypse and all this stuff. I've talked about in the podcast is like the human consciousness of America specifically, because America is quite new compared to other countries around the world. And we're very diverse and a melting pot. And I feel like the consciousness of America is like a rebellious teenager where it's got its room and it's all messy and there's like food that's like maybe rotting or stuff like that. And it's just like mom's been saying like, clean up the room. And then all of a sudden you look there, you get home one day, you're like, holy shit, this is really bad. Okay, I got to clean up my room. I feel like we're getting there. It's not that, we have to move or like get rid of the room, but like we're getting to that space where we're coming out, we're growing up. The consciousness of America is maturing.
I agree.
Through this. And so we don't have to let it all crumble.
I agree.
We just need to literally clean shit up.
Show up.
And align it. And a part of that, once again, is being empowered to be able to be a creator, being empowered to be a leader, to lead in your life, to make healthy choices, to recognize that there are consequences for our actions and not to be so withheld within these groupthink, societal
Mentality.
containers, victimhood, that are like, oh yeah, it's everyone else's fault that we're this way and that we don't have. It's like,
it's the budding Crips on the fucking television, bro.
Yeah,
it's like it's their fault for this doing it. It's their fault for doing this. It's
or
just
like
this
whatever else is coming up in society
all
these
the
days.
things. Yeah.
It's like, if you used half of that energy and just used your amazing fucking dream computer in your pocket to like learn all sorts of different things, like the opportunities there are like literally endless. And yet in that endless opportunity, it can become overwhelming, but that doesn't mean it's not there.
It will become overwhelming. That's the thing. Like the flavor of life is all the emotions, man. And we have to come okay with those emotions. There's not negative emotions. There's emotions, right? Go watch Inside Out 2. Like,
bro, I want to see it. Inside Out was great.
Inside Out was great, but the second one, it was hard for me to watch because of the emotion that it was bringing forth, right? That I'm feeling, I'm empathizing with what's happening, and I'm feeling like it doesn't feel good being in that space,
right?
But they're
so good, dude.
It's so good, bro. But that's why I feel like you have to build capacity, dude.
Yeah.
And building capacity is all in those things. But once something came up for me while you were talking, man, and with the story of like the mom and telling her to clean the room, and then you come in the room's not doing it for you. Like there's no dad in that story. And I kind of feel that's what America is, bro.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
America, a lot of America has abandonment wounds from a father of just not being there, or
too strict,
or was there, but just was like, not loving. It was just do this, just drill sergeant, just the provider. Come on and do the bullshit. And I think that's also an activation for us. And you hear the weak man, all that quote, meek man, strong, whatever. But I think it's a call right now for men too to be like, hey, let's step up.
Yeah,
we need to pass. We need to pass on the knowledge. We need to guide with love, guide with structure. But one thing I've just learned as a father is my oldest he turned 15. And I thought I had all these ideas. I'm going to teach you now and this. And like, that was the thing. I'm going to make sure I teach you what I know now. But it came to is like, life is going to, he will grow with life. And as he grows with life, it's my job just like facilitating, bro. Yeah. It's my job to see where he's at that moment. And okay, now it's time to have this conversation. Right. Now it's time to do this. Now it's time to do this. But I think as a father, what I try to do with my own life is like, I just want to be an example of it. And what I mean by that is maybe my sons don't resonate with my lifestyle. They're not going to love it all the time. Right. But what if they just resonate with the intention of how I created my lifestyle? Yeah. Right? Because maybe you not like this, but can you see that I'm happy? Can you see that I'm joyful? Can you see, when I have a great relationship, I'm gonna have a relationship again, but now it's a great relationship, healthy. Can you see how I came from this and created this? Right. Now, this painting doesn't have to be your painting, right? But I want you to have the internal things that build your capacity to create that your own vision, your own Picasso, your own poetry, your own writing. Exactly. Right? That's the only thing. Yeah. And it's my job as a father to step off the side and let him go. But bro, that shit is hard because fucking kids are your heart walking around, dude. Yeah. And I had this one realization one time when my kids were sick and they were getting older, and it was just like, fuck, I am going to relive everything as they go through it. My mom has been there amazing since I've gotten divorced, man, just like been there amazing for me. We got so much closer. But like, I know that was heavy for her. Yeah. There's no way I see my baby so hurt right now. Of course, and like, dude. But also like learning how to show that, learning how to show up and speak about those things. So I think all that to say is that we need fathers, dude. And I know it's already getting better. Yeah. It's already continuing to move. And also like, relax, dads. In the sense of like, it's going to be okay. They're coming. Enjoy your children, man. And and that's kind of why I've stayed in the Army this whole time, is because I'm not active duty. I'm active duty National Guard, but I'm not active duty like full on federal Army. Yeah. I'm active state Nevada Army National Guard in there. And it has a little bit of different lifestyle. And that's why I've stayed there, because my main purpose right now is a father. Yeah. That's what I am. Yeah. And until they get older, I'm gonna retire. It's like a beautiful story, awesome stuff, right? It like perfectly connected. But that is the focus, and to learn about myself right now. And I think you need to have those focuses, and we need men to stay there because you need to show them what a man is. They need to show what love from a man is. You need to hold your son's hand. Doesn't matter how big he gets. Doesn't matter what the fucking, show them that you're there, support them, and be there, and do all the things because men. We just like you said, it's been hard for us to call. It took me a long time to like be able to like, no, I'm fucked up. I got to call. You know, and I think if fathers show up in that realm and we speak about it, and everybody loves a father who loves his fucking kids. Let me just say that too. 'Cause me and my other friends, like people love fathers talking about their kids because they're all used to mothers being But when you hear a father who's very intentional with it, who's there, who has a who understands at least an idea of where he's trying to go with his kids.
It heals a projection. That
bro. It heals the other person. It makes you feel inspired, like, oh, this is what can be. And I only share that because that's reflections that I've gotten. And what I've give to other brothers that like, when I connect with other fathers, like, bro, I love being around dads who are fucking hyped about being a dad. What book you read? What have you seen here? How you handling this?
Because everyone's figuring it out.
We're all figuring it out. Even our parents are figuring it out, you know? I'm a first American, bro. My mom was born in Costa Rica. So it was like, you know, I didn't know about 401ks. I didn't fucking know about buying the house and doing all this financial stuff. Well, I'm the generation to figure that shit out and to pass it on. Like, it's that simple. And my kids are going to know this stuff. But it's important for fathers, dude. I'm just, at the end of the day, let's go, man. Fathers rise up.
Hope.
You know? So, I think that is, for me, that was one of my deepest wounds before my brother, because I just don't understand. I didn't understand how in my view, I don't understand how my dad chose the army over me. I don't understand. Like, my dad was my biological father was special forces. He did all the black ops things and you know, and did all that, but he also paid the price for that. You know, and I wrote him one time. I was like, you chose the external world, dude. You wanted the badges. You want to go see. You want to go kill. You want to do all that stuff. I'm choosing the internal world now. And I'm choosing my generations. I'm not going to do that. I don't understand how fathers can leave their kids. It literally does not make sense to my nervous system. It doesn't make sense to my heart. It doesn't make sense to anything in my realm. You did not choose to be here. My negligence or my purpose or whatever the fuck, even if it was on purpose and it all happened, and you don't choose to be here, like, I don't understand that. And I don't understand how they don't want to reconnect. I don't understand. I think being a father is what kept me alive for the most part. Like, maybe I would have thought, I'll go jump on some shit. But the moment I had my kid, it was like, all right, it's not about me anymore. Even though it still is, that's the great thing. Like, I get to enjoy my life. But like, I never forget my first process where at the end of the anger, at the end of all the fighting, the pushing, it was laying on the floor in the fetal position, crying, saying, my babies will not go through this stuff. Because this is preventable. I will be here for my kids. And now, obviously, if I die or whatever, it is what it is. But like, those choices, those choices are internal. And I honestly don't understand it. I don't understand who dads are not wrong. So. Yeah,
I mean, I hear that in the part of me, the devil's advocate part of me, which I don't like that term, but, you know, the thing that I think about is like, what if Pops was just like, I'm too dangerous to be around my kids, or I'm too loose of a cannon to be around my kids.
Possibly.
Because that's something that Ugo, you know, spoke to. He was like, in the beginning when I was with my kids, I was afraid to touch them.
I get it.
I was afraid to even like be around, like, because he didn't want to hurt them the way that he got hurt, right? And so like, I don't know what your Pops' story is, and maybe he'll never share it, but like, you know, all I'm saying is that there's definitely room for compassion. And then if we bring that back to what we were talking about earlier.
See, the thing is, like, bro, it's like, I hear you. It's like, I got compassion, but it's like, when you going to show up, dog?
No, but I know, but I'm saying like, you think about like, we have the opportunity now because of the situation that we're in, et cetera. Like, it's a different world. So we have these tools and everything that are there. Like, there wasn't potentially like, maybe he knew about Mesmer, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But like, there's a chance that based on the way that our predecessors live, because I have stuff with my dad too. I got a good relationship with my dad now. But like, if he didn't do what he did, I wouldn't be who I am today. And so what if the way that he was and the potential tools that he never got and so forth were so that it could create the recipe for Ronnie to show up the way he is.
I 100% agree. Like when I look at it in a time frame like that, when I'm looking at the past, like I'm grateful for how all the things have unfolded because they got me here.
Right.
I think the evolution of that is having a standard then.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
Of like, okay, I still don't understand how you did this. I'm not mad at him anymore for that or all the things, but it is I'm sure you can tell there's a lit of fire in my ass that's like, of
course.
Why isn't this not here though?
Yeah.
And we need to solve the problem. Some problems have to be solved now. We don't have 10 years.
Right.
I might not have all the pieces of wood and the nails to fix this hole, but I got one piece of wood and I got 2 nails. We're going to start there. And I think that was, and I guess the only reason why I say this, because that's what I did, man. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no mentor teaching me how to be a dad. I had no one teaching me how to be a husband. Right. I had, the Army, thank God, is what helped me a lot, having mentors there. And it's like, what I've learned actually in being more involved in civilian world is how much more the military speaks on leadership. It is in our culture. It is an expectation. It is, you got to develop this skill.
Right.
And, I think it's just part of learning that thing where it doesn't matter. And one of my company's metaphor, or I'll find a way. Our vision statement is find a way.
Yeah.
Find a way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's happening. We all have a story. We all have those things. And that's with all the compassion and the gratitude, because I know it sucks where you're at. I know it sucks where I'm at. And I'm very conscious that like my pain is different than your pain, but the levels of pain could be the same. We just had different experiences, but the levels are the same. Right? So it's like, I know you're hurting, bro. Yeah. I know you're hurting, or I know you're hurting. I know this is going on, but find a way, dude.
Yeah.
Find a way. I promise you, there is, and I believe in the Bible too, not like in the sense of like Jesus is all like my savior, but I believe it's a mythologic story and says similar things in text in different religions in different spots. They all say the same threads, right?
Teachings.
So what does it say? God won't give you anything you can't handle. So there's a tool for you there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a gold.
There's a silver lining.
There's a gold in there, right?
Yeah.
And then Michael Meade, he write great books, and he has a book like your wound and your blessing are in the same location.
Agreed. Yeah.
But you have to alchemize that. So that's like my brand, Decisive Element. One day I'm going to have this whole thing when I get out the Army, probably. But it's about choosing to give me the rock, bro. I'm MJ, right? I'm a Jordan fan, dude. I don't do the whole Kobe do. When I shoot, I do a fade. I do MJ, right?
Yeah.
Give me the rock. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
Give me the decision. Give me the thing. I'm going to do it. Right?
Give me the gold. I want the gold.
I'm going to figure it out, man. I'm going to figure it out because no one else is coming, dude.
Yeah.
And it's not that no one else is coming because you're here. I have my bros. I have my peoples. Like, we're here, right?
Only so much we can do.
But it's almost so much you can do.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's just a thing that it's a choice. But it's funny because I guess I can bring that there right now because I've been playing with the idea too that I don't know if it's a choice sometimes. It's like there's a part of me, I'm just speaking for myself. Sometimes it feels like my life everything is lined up to get it to come here.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes that makes me question is even my choices my choices. It seems like it's my choice, but it's already done. Because we get spiritual with the things, right?
Yeah.
And it could go all that spot because there's if I'm spirit, I'm part of this collective. We're spirit, all spirit. Everything's already unfolding.
Yeah.
I'm spirit living in a different version. Well, that part of my spirit, I think everyone should be their natural selves. Your natural self, and whatever the hell that means. Guess what? Everybody's into something. You'll find your tribe if you were your natural self. Yeah. But our natural selves have little things that want to come out, right? And learning to navigate that natural self brings us to an authentic expression where people feel our aura. They feel what we're bringing through. And as if we tap into that, then more life, like I said, life opens to you. Yeah. And it seems that life starts to propel and move things for you. But it just seems like sometimes like I didn't know I wanted to do that. I just listened to my intuition. All of a sudden this happens. I listened to that feeling, that gut thing. Let's just get better used to that instead of saying no right away. And all of a sudden shit happens. I don't know, man. It's just sometimes I feel like I'm on this fucking dream life and I'm like, I don't know how this is happening, but I'm grateful to be here. And let's just keep doing what we're doing because clearly something's unfolding.
100%. I mean, well, okay. So I got two things.
Bring it
for one, oh man, when you had said that people's volume or experiencing of pain can be the same, and yet the incidences could be completely different.
Yep.
I feel like that's the fucking bullshit that we experience so much in this world right now, is like everyone's projecting based on race or gender and all these topics in this society right now, where it's like my pain's bigger than yours. Like, how the fuck do you know? Can you quantify that?
Yes.
Right? And to belittle and dismiss someone else's pain based on what they're going through, like, who's to say that the trust fund kid's pain is not literally at the same levels, if not worse, than this other person who might have gone through something way more traumatic, right? There's no way to necessarily quantify that unless you actually bring them into a study. But two, like, the fact is that the capacity to feel is not linear to the experience of the trauma necessarily.
Yes.
And so there's so much room for compassion there. And also it's just like to try to be like, oh, well, you know what? This happened to me. And so shame on this people, shame on that. But it's like an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. So like there's a big lesson there for humanity, especially in the Western world right now.
And I think part of that issue is grief, bro, is that all these people, even myself, everybody, all of us, it doesn't matter what race, what religion, what stuff, everyone's been prosecuted. Yeah. Everyone's been enslaved somewhere. Everyone, so you go back time and left. Oh, dude. Everyone's been through something here, boom, boom. We all have generational trauma. Yep. And back to the tipping point, right? Or what we're talking about, you know, with yourself. It's like that, where is that point where you're like, okay, I get it's going to keep happening, but how can I now change this in a different way? Right. How can we bring this a different angle?
Reframe.
Yes, reframe it. How can my perspective change based off this? Yeah. And then, but it's funny because then you do that, and what you find is that you can deal with it. Right. You can navigate it. Yeah. Now it's not. It stops now you feel lighter. Yeah. You feel more authentic. 100%. People start to tell you all that things.
Because you're not holding the ball in chain. You let it go. You didn't own it.
And that's
you
part
were holding
of it. And I think that's why I feel called to write this grief book, is because I feel like a part of, and I appreciate what you're sharing about, it's the same thing. It's because if what I'm feeling right now and how I'm feeling alive in life, I've been waiting, and I'm gonna write a poem about this, about like, I've been waiting for this fire to return in me. Because the fire was so low, I was grieving. Yeah. I know I have this hustler in me. I know I have this, let's go get the shit done. Let's go figure it out. I've done it before in my life. Yeah. But I was like wanting it to come so much faster while I was grieving. I'm ready for it. Come on, let's fucking go. Yeah. And then I just finally let go and just let myself go through the whole thing. And now it's like naturally, little by little, what does something that's healing starts to get more energy. Yeah. And now all of a sudden the fire's back. Now I'm ready to get to work. Now it starts building again. Let's fucking get back to where I was. Let's get my shit back together. But if we don't have steps to go and have an understanding of what we're going to go into or allowing, it's not a matter, like, once again, it's not a matter of if you're going to grieve. It's a matter of when. Right. And learning how to have the tools to go through that and actually come out better. Yeah. And I'm not saying better in the sense of like it's just mature, more effective, more compassionate, more understanding, more self-awareness of myself and the community around me. Right. So it's such a vital thing that we grieve, man, because everybody who's doing that, who's points the finger at all these different things, at the end of the day, it's anger and sadness and grief in there, dude.
It's pain.
And if we can just scrape that shit out, everyone needs to go through a fucking process. Like, it would be
some I statements
and some I statements,
some agreements, some agreements, bro.
Statements.
We need some agreements.
But back to standards, though. Yeah. And I think this is like men. We need men to show up.
Agreed. Because in a healthy way.
And a father holds the standards at home. Yeah. Not to say that the mother doesn't. She does. Yeah. Right. But when you say, "Who are you gonna?" I'm gonna go get dad. Yeah. It's not, I'm gonna go get mom. Right. Right. So it's like, there's a thing that needs to show up. And I know it's uncomfortable for people to have standards. It's like, we just want to be so fluid right now. And I understand that because we have a technology, we have everything at your fingertips. So it can be fluid at some level, right? It can be, but there is a level of structure and roles and responsibilities that everyone has to have.
100%.
Period.
Well, and there's a big issue right now with a lot of like man hating because of masculine wounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So we need to heal the father archetype. Yes. We need to heal the masculine archetype within society. And that doesn't mean, once again, that doesn't mean just like, oh, get rid of it or it's not worthy. It's like, no, there's a way that it can be done better, and give credence to the people who are choosing to do it better, and stop just like blanket, statementing everybody. Another thing that I wanted to talk about that you had mentioned is the fact that some things just lead to this, and you're just like, is any of this in my control?
Yeah.
What, and this is all my conjecture. This, I can't quantify or prove this at all, but what it does seem to be is that like, there are certain big pinpoints in our life where stuff happens.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe we're meant to hit those. And yet there's things in the middle of that potentially. And maybe we can very much deviate off to, other roads.
Yes.
But specifically, like, let's take point A, for instance, and point B. Point A is tragedy. Point B is like some sort of redemption story or some sort of awesome thing that happens. There might be little bitty things, all these, thousands of micro points within that. However, during that time from point A to point B, there's the opportunity for us to be absolutely miserable, doubtful, and just like in pain the entire time, or to trust that point B is coming and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is what we do have control over.
Yes.
More than anything. Is like, do we want to choose to have faith and enjoy the ride and with all that to be said, like there may very well be those times of being vulnerable and being doubtful and getting the help
100%.
and
all the things
all
there.
the things.
Yeah.
But the point is that we do have the choice in those moments of like, am I going to choose to believe and to know and to have faith that something good is coming, or choose to believe like, oh, this is it. I'm fucked. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be depressed for the next however long, And I feel like that is what we do have control over. And that is ultimately comes down to the reframe of what our situation is.
I agree.
And you have to have a certain level of understanding the self once again to even be there. Because if you're just like, oh, I'm atheist and nothing good is happening and nothing happens for a reason and da-da-da and everything positive that's happened is just mere coincidence, then what a sad life, and that leads to no magic, right? Whereas if we are going to choose to have faith in whatever we want to call
magic,
it.
though. But that's the thing, bro. It's like, you're right. It's the faith and no magic. Because like, I don't know if, it's just my theory, right? So I'm not saying, because I do feel like I'm choosing in this moment to show up.
Yeah.
It's like, it just feels like, is it even bigger where I think I'm only choosing and it's part of this, but this meta talks, right? But like at the end of the day, yes, we get to like choose where we want to show up and do that. And I think that is the most beautiful thing that we have, at least in our possession, right? It's like, I get to choose here. And I think that's understanding, like, well, I go back to nature always because nature shows us patterns.
Yeah.
There's always a winter. There's always a fall. There's always a spring. There's always a summer. Well, that's a reflection of us too. And we have to, I came through my long winter right now and it didn't feel like spring was coming. It didn't feel like it at all. Yeah. But I know watching my surroundings that things change. The weather changes. It's hot as fuck in Vegas right now. Right? Yeah. And in 4 months, it's going to be back to cool and we're good again. Right. Right? But then it's a cycle. So understanding cycles, understanding the moon, like understand, even with women, right? Like, are you moon dating cycles, moon cycles? Are you dating her pre-moon cycle? Like, where in the cycle are you? That's what, I'm also a component of patterns, like pattern recognition, like learn patterns, right? I found, a simple pattern that I found. It feels like it's a universal pattern. Everyone knows what happens when pressure builds. It's either going to pop, or if you do it with the right tool, you can lower it and let the pressure ride. Well, I found that, guess what? There's a fucking technical analysis inside the stock market. It's called the squeeze. And it's about fucking pressure of the stock building. And then based off the projection, or you can see if it's going to go up and it's going to go down. Bull markets. And then you use those fucking times of pressure because you know it's going to release. Right. Or kids get chubby and then get skin taller. Yeah. Like, so we know that's a pattern. Did that, but yeah. Or it's the same thing we talked about men's work, contraction and expansion. 100%. Every time after a peak experience, you're gonna have a contraction. You go to a festival, come back, you have the festival blues. Right, the decompression. Right? That's part of life. So if we know that this is part of life, then it makes us less anxious about it or worried about it that we're feeling bad. What's wrong with my life right now? No, bro, you just had fucking 4 amazing days at a festival. Right. Like, you're going to feel low for a couple days because of that. Yeah. But we're not okay, dang, what's his name? I forgot. But I was watching, we're only okay with the expansion. We're not okay with the contraction. And what just came to mind was even business. Yeah. We always want stockholders, prices always going up. How can your business consistently thrive every year? No, it can't. And not to the sense, not that it's, when I'm saying thrive, it could be successful, but it doesn't have to gross revenue $1 billion every year.
Right.
Your revenue in $3 billion, you're doing great. Next, we're going to do 10. Next, we're going to do 7.
Right.
So everyone's in the chase to becoming a monopoly.
Yeah.
That's what we're all trying to do then. Like, how much is enough? I watched this beautiful, reel on Instagram with the guy who owns Arizona Tea. And he's like, yeah, bro, I've not raised my prices. And she asked him why. I don't need to. We're successful. People are having a hard time paying rent.
Yeah.
I have no debt. I know I own everything. Why do I need to raise the prices? We'll be all right. We're good.
Yeah.
Imagine, dude, I feel like, maybe it's a whole other thing, but part of this inflation is just people pricing up things too. There's a part of me that business, there's a because I don't have a trust in the integrity of a regular human being. Yeah. There's a part of me that doesn't really have trust with integrity of the businesses of the beings, because when the groupthink comes evolve in a business, they're just trying to get hungry.
Yeah, I mean, it also is, what I will say is that also, like, if you look at certain, and it also depends on what the manufacturing process is and stuff.
Of course.
like that.
Obviously, I'm not saying that for everything.
But
it's
I
like,
agree.
if it's one business who's big like that.
Greed is greed.
Yeah, if there's one business who's big like that, then there has to be other businesses that are in the same way.
And the way that they do it is through shrinkflation.
Exactly.
Yeah, making the actual product smaller without changing the price or whatnot.
Or all the things, right? And then whatever, that's a whole nother stuff. But I just feel like it's things that to talk about. And I'm a big component is the individual is a reflection of the family is a reflection of the individual, right? You're only going to be as happy as your family is. Right. Or your community. Right. And it's the same thing. But then if you take the family, that is a reflection of what a society is. So if you want, I think whatever the family would do is how we have to think in a government way. We, as a father, I don't want to give my sons everything. They have to work for shit. Right. But they're going to have a basis of feeling safety. Yeah. Because Milo's hierarchy of needs, right? We know all this shit. If you're not safe physically, and physically is eating, shelter, all the basic things, and you're not going to go up the freaking pyramid and get to self-actualization. No way. So it seems like, and obviously, I hate to say that it's happening on purpose, because I don't know it's happening on purpose, but it seems that it's happening on purpose because of the things that they're allowing, the food and this and that.
Not only allowing, pushing.
Yeah, pushing, right? So it's just like, it seems that, why are we killing our own children? Yeah. And I guess I bring this all to it because it's just standards of living and how we want the future to go. Yeah. And clearly something is in these individuals who are propelling that. And most of the time, it's just parent issues. Yeah. 100%. And I would say not just that, but you know what I mean?
No.
The deepest core is always there.
I literally just put out a reel today about how there's boundaries in love and that everything from the microcosm, negligence is violence, right? Yeah. So if we're not choosing to, if we're not choosing to have appropriate boundaries and create proper limitations and then consequences for certain things, then we are creating violence for not only our generations within the home, but that ripples out into the judicial system and our governmental structure. Yes. Right? And like obviously there are certain conspiracies, there's certain things that are obviously very, very apparently true that people don't want to admit or blah, 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 or what have you. And it's very obvious that there has been an agenda to dumb people down, to give them crappy food, to make them sick, da-da-da-da-da. And a part of my stance on everything is that if you don't see God in all, you won't see God at all. Either everything's a blessing or it's a curse. Because otherwise you're cherry picking your ownership. You're cherry picking like what you choose to think is. If I cherry pick what is a blessing, what is a curse, the negative thing is obviously the curse. And then I'm never going to be able to see the blessing in it. Right? Until maybe it's too late. Maybe like I've gotten sick and gotten cancerous because, I was worrying the whole time and being super depressed and stuff like that, instead of just being optimistic and hopeful and grateful. Yeah. Right? And so for me, if I were to look at this, because I used to be the new age hippie dude who's like, the chemtrails, this, they're fucking trying to get, and it's like, yes. And what if that is the learning tool for the consciousness of humanity, maybe specifically in the United States? Beautiful. To mature.
Beautiful. I agree.
And to come to that leadership, the ownership of the inside.
I 100% agree. And I think life, I was thinking about this, like, I felt like I was realizing how much being in the military and a father helped me have like left and right limits, right? Couldn't go so far because I had to stay within the kids. I had to keep my shit together. I could have gone on so many ways. And it felt like I was in a pressure cooker for a while. with all the bad things or whatever my life happened to me, and I was in a pressure cooker, boom, 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 boom. But then eventually it opens up, and then you can breathe and go through it. And I think everything's meant to be, dude. I think everything's meant to happen the way it happens. We can't control things out of our control. Yeah. I am only one thing, and there's a series of events that happen. And what do they say? You're only 2 people away from the president or somebody. You're only a couple people away. You're not as far as you think you are from meeting people. Right. So it feels like things are meant to happen because this is another opportunity for us to rise. We have to learn. A teenager, I studied psychology for a while, and adolescence, it's part of the biology. One, that they go to bed later. So they sleep in more, right? They do that just for sleeping. Another one is that they're going to push against you. Yeah. Because now they're finding out I am not just my family. I am an individual. Yeah. So if we have the understanding that my kid's going to push against me, then I have more compassion how I deliver it. Yeah, I give him a little, we're going to go at it a second because you got to feel me too. Right. But I'm not going to take it personal or think I'm a bad dad because of how he is right now. Right. If it was consistent pattern of behavior, it's different. Yeah. But in these little moments that things happen, it's like, yes, push against me, bro. Because you need to fucking feel, and you need to have a boundary, and you need to do that. 100%. And I'm here to fucking practice with you. Like, that's my role. Yeah. Right. And I think that's what's happening in society. We go through these moments of, once again, pressure. Yeah. So the pressure's building. Everybody feels it, dude. There's not a person in this country, even outside of this country, that's something's in America, something's happening, something's coming. Yeah. Let's just take it for what it is and start showing up in our lives. Agreed. Parents taking parents.
That's why we're doing
that's what we're doing. Exactly. Shit, right. Yeah. Exactly. And we can only do our things, man. We can't, and whatever comes and goes, and then letting go, bro. Letting go of control. Yeah. That I feel like even in the sense of where, a little bit of myself, plays with the theory that I'm not in charge at all and it's just fucking happening to me. There are things that are not in my control. And honestly, the majority of my life is not in my control. Yeah. But what is in my control is what I take full ownership of. Yeah. What I eat, how I move, how I treat my friends, how I treat all the things. Like those things are the things that we're in control. And it's really learning. For me, what really helped me learn is just to surrender. And that's what the medicine from the divorce really got me through. Beyond I knew my brother died, all this stuff, but it's like, oh, even she left me. And even my kids left me. And my kids didn't leave me. Yeah. I wrote a beautiful poem on it. But Sun's Rotation, it's called. Because they leave for a week at a time. There's always a little grieving that when they took off, it was harder in the beginning, it gets better now. Yeah. But when they're not with me, there's a shift that has to happen for a day. It's like, oh. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good now. Right. And then I go through it. And then Monday, a couple of days before they come back, I'm ready for my fucking kids. Right. Yeah. You don't live the same. I don't live the same life anymore. No. Yeah. Winter came early is what I say, in the sense of fatherhood, where, I'm still here and we're maturing and we're getting better and working this through. It's made communication way better between us because now I have to reach out and we have to talk and all those things, and not have to, but you know what I'm saying? It's more intentional. Right. It's more intentional now. Yeah. And I think that's something that just, I don't know, man. I'm learning to be alone in this space. And I think learning to be alone is vital because, not in the sense, because I don't want to be alone. I don't think we're not meant to be alone. No. Right? But there's a time frame where you need to be alone for a little bit to see all the things that come up. And for my understanding, so I can learn how to describe those to you. Hey, I'm having a moment right now, dude. I have this and this, and this is coming up. Okay, let's just talk through it. But I think really being able to ground yourself and having that understanding that it's the self-confidence of knowing that I'll figure it out. Doesn't matter where I'm at, but I'm going to figure it out. And I'm realizing how much what the Army's given me that a lot. That I've been put in so many situations, going to so many different schools and all these different things and meeting new people consistently. And that I'm going to figure it out. That's it. Once again, find a way. Yeah. And I think that's something that we have to cultivate and we have to bring through in our lives because it's consistently. And I loved watching, I read something that there's always, in the morning, in the day, you're solved the problem, another problem just started, and you're in the middle of another problem. The moment you want problems to go the way is the moment when you're freaking going out. Yeah. Right? And I just, a leadership quote came to me. The moment your soldiers, or the moment your subordinates stop coming to you is the moment you stop being a leader. right? They should be coming to you to, hey, I got this, I got that. How do you think about this one? Right? They don't look to you like that then.
Right.
And I think that's something that people have to take that personally too.
Right.
You know, there's a song that I listened to and it really hit me that when you get divorced or you get out of a long relationship, it doesn't matter if you're married or not. I just feel like there's a part where you question yourself so much because it's like, how did I failed here. I fucked this all up. I failed. I didn't do it. So you have to rebuild your trust again.
Yeah.
And
in yourself.
in yourself. Yes. Thanks for clearing that. In yourself. And I think that is real. And I'm not talking trust in the sense where like self-confidence where I can wear whatever I want and I'm going to be confident in what I wear. Yeah. Like it's not, I'm talking about the internal, I'm scared, my car just popped off, it's raining, like I can figure out how to get out of this type stuff.
Yeah.
Or something, whatever. That's what I'm talking about. Not this, because in America, we have a very projection of confidence.
Right.
We have a projection of shit together. We got a projection of
obnoxiousness and arrogance is not true confidence.
Yes, it's not real confidence.
No, true confidence isn't
you
boastful.
not being through anything is not confidence.
Yeah.
You living in a broke house with brand new Jordans is not confidence, bro. That is people pleasing. That is projecting what you think the world is, right? And then the hip hop artists and all the other artists, we got to fucking perpetuate this fucking fancy shit. And not to say that's not there, because I love being swagged out and going out and having my little, whatever the fuck it is, we get down, bro, right? A little hibbity-dibbity, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm all for it. But I think the deeper thing is that you need to gain real confidence and ownership of yourself, because if you do that, that's what propels your life, man.
Yeah. Agreed.
Absolutely.
I mean, these are the hard things. And I feel blessed. I feel blessed that we're both blessed in the sense that we've had the lives and the circumstances that have brought us to this place.
Agreed.
And when you talk about men needing to show up, and I'd say that it's really any leaders who are willing to show up.
Needs to show up,
but truly, and I do put a certain level of not pressure, but a certain level of responsibility on the masculine, because I've talked about it on this podcast a bit, that like OnlyFans would not exist if it weren't for the male,
of course,
fucking people supporting it, right? And that's weak masculinity.
Yes.
That is we are hurting our women through doing that.
Yes.
And we are allowing them and giving them the opportunity to utilize that as a platform, right? And so like we need to show up in these ways and create these standards, and that does entail us doing the heavy stuff,
the work.
And one thing that's really interesting that is coming up for me now that I've never really thought of is that what if we choose to perceive the tragedy and the trauma and all the stuff that we've experienced, that for some people they may be bottled down and suppressed, and maybe they're going through OnlyFans, maybe they're going to drugs or whatever. If we see those as like, and it's not always the same recipe, but what if like everyone has a specific amount of ingredients that can lead to their greatness that they're withholding, that they just haven't transformed or alchemized or reframed or redirected towards their purpose and path, right? Like they very well might be holding, like the thing that they think, once again, the tragedy or the wound being the blessing, like they may very well be holding the key.
They got gold,
like,
bro. Everybody does.
Yeah.
I believe everybody
and
does.
it's just like, oh, I got this thing that's holding me down. It's like, no, that's actually the thing that's going to bring you up. Switch it,
It's a great point, man. And I think that's one of the things that I'm always taught, but you need to become an alchemist, dude. We all need to become alchemists.
Yeah.
You need to learn, I needed to learn at that time how to change my grief and my wounds into blessings and gold.
To transmute
how to make my life even better. Now, I had a divorce, but now my relationship with my kids, I'm a better dad now.
Right.
I'm going to have a better relationship with the next one because now I know how to do it. I don't have a fucking date. That's a whole fucking thing I'm learning.
Yeah.
Right. But like, like I'm learning how to be involved and get these things done, and you just have to participate. And this thing is about engagement too, bro.
Yeah.
One thing, I like to use that word a lot because it's really about engaging with life. We're waiting for somebody else to do it first. Groupthink is a thing where the first person will do it, but it's not until, the second person comes, but it's not until the third person, I believe, comes is when everybody starts coming. right? So there's like patterns of behavior that we can fall in line. It's just like the first person who ran the fucking a mile under 4 minutes, or under 5 minutes, whatever the record was.
Right.
But after that man did it, 15 people did it within the next 2 years.
Right.
So it's like, find your thing and learn how to alchemize life. We have to become alchemizers because we have to change the wound into the blessing too. Yeah. And that's what we do with all different types of stuff, right? Crude oil turns into how much of the shit we have right now, and then gasoline. Yep. How do we alchemize something to make it? So it actually, the grief and all the things that we're talking about tragically can actually turn into, I feel like, the ultimate fuel. And that's what I've
fossil fuels. I'm just kidding.
Fossil fuels, right? But the ultimate driver, the ultimate thing now, because I've experienced death, no matter how sad it was and what all the fucking shit. But now I know how to live. Like, I got the freaking, the Harry Potter Deathly Hallows tattooed on my hand, and it's the Deathly Hallows, right? But in the story, it's how they got away from life. So the Deathly Hallows, right? So get away from life to become the master of death. This thing tells me I have to become the master of life. That's my meaning for this tattoo on my hand. The master of death is the master of life. So let me fucking live life. And then I love Friedrich Nietzsche, where amor fati, right? Love of one's fate. I didn't plan to be born. I don't know. Right. Maybe I did. We go spiritual, all the other shit. We don't fucking know. Yeah. I wanted to be here. I'm fucking here.
Yeah.
But I love my fate. I'm in love with my life. No matter what it comes into, no matter what goes through, I'm appreciated that I get to breathe, that I get to kiss my kids, that I get to kiss a fucking woman, that I get to go see a beautiful sunset, that I get to sit next to my mom for however many long years, and my fucking stepdad and my dad, like all these people that I just love so much, hang out with my bros. Like, I've never had, the community has just blossomed, and it just feels more where like I'm real with everybody now because of this life stuff. It took me a while to figure out how to alchemize it. And I think that's the exploration, right? That's like the 20s of you need to go explore, or however old you are. If you don't feel like you've learned how to alchemize, then you need to go explore. What artistic thing brings you medicine? Is it dancing? Is it writing poems? Is it you doing hair? Is it training horses? It doesn't matter what the fuck it is. What brings you rest, rejuvenation, and the passion and fire for life? What makes time stop for you? And what makes you dance with spirit? Because when I feel like I write sometimes, dude, I don't feel like it's me writing.
Right.
I feel like it's like a thing that just has to come out of me. And I've had moments of that creative process where it's just like, damn, this shit's crazy. How the fuck did this just come out right now? And I think that, and I guess I just got another segue to it, people need to feel synergy more. Go to concerts, go to church, go to wherever where synergy of human beings are there for the same reason, and you find God. You feel spirit in those places. Because when the collective come together, and the Bible says it, right? When two people more come together, so it be done. And it's like what I feel like is that people don't feel synergy enough with humans. They haven't been on a team that's very collective. They haven't been on a men's group, bro. They haven't been on a sports team. They haven't been in the military and gone to war with a group of people. When you have that people connection like that, you can feel like, you can feel me. Ace, what's up right now? Something's shifting. Hey, why are you talking like that? Like those internal things in the army, I'm walking somebody, I know somebody by their shadow walk, how they walk now. I know them because I've seen them so many times.
Right.
That brings a certain level of like community and togetherness. And I have found spirit in concerts, at festivals, in the brotherhood, in different things where people come in synergy, even baseball games, basketball games. Everyone's there on the same team. Those are magical moments, man. And I think people need to feel synergy and really get into it, get lost in the synergy, get lost with the joyful. Yeah, man, because play is so beautiful, dude.
It is. I mean, it's... And I feel like a lot of people do that. Like a lot of people are into sports, or they're into some things, and yet, and this is one of the points that I think I wanted to say earlier is that, like how I said, I'm completely okay. I wouldn't say I'm okay with it. It's something that I surrender to and know is not for me to try to, it's not my position, responsibility, duty, or place to try to save anyone from their own choice or change their choices.
Yeah, there are things.
Right?
Yeah.
And yet, how beautiful of a world would it be where it is ingrained into the framework of our education since when we're little, ownership of like us choosing and honoring each other's sovereignty, and that like, hey, look, like you get to do what you want. At the same time, there are consequences for this, but you're choosing it because you're that powerful. How then do we operate, right? What are the choices we make then? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Instead of coming from the unknown or basically the victimized perspective that's fed.
Yes.
You know, and indoctrinated into the youth.
And it just seems like it's hold out, bro. Like, you know, I was talking earlier today about like, why aren't credit cards in high school? Why in a financial class?
100%.
Why isn't psychology talk in fucking
just economy?
Like an economy, like the basic. Okay, like I feel like, you know, everyone needs the 4 things: fucking, you know, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, communication, and finance. Like,
why is PE not mandatory?
Yes,
and why is it lame now?
You should be training people for our society we live in. We're no longer hunter-gatherers.
Yeah.
As much as people want to hunt, like I think that's important, right? Whatever. We're not doing that all the time.
Yeah.
So you should learn how our current environment.
Yeah.
And we should be teaching our current environment what it looks like the stock market. And what, like, dude, I thought the stock market was so crazy. It took me 3 years to like fully, now I don't want to say fully figure it out, but now I have a better understanding of it.
Yeah.
But it should be taught. What does it look like when an 11-year-old already has an awareness of that?
Yeah.
Not to say
100%.
like they're teaching coding in elementary school.
Or what about entrepreneurship?
Why can't we teach financial literacy? Why can't we talk about psychology?
Exactly.
Hey, you need a hug sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're getting better. I just got out of middle school, or I just got out of elementary school, and I loved my kids' teachers. I say get out because now my youngest is in 6th grade.
Right.
That's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
But I just feel, and I think that's, once again, it needs to be in the families before we get put in the schools.
Agreed.
And
there does have to be that strong masculine presence there to like lay down the law to a certain extent of like, what are the boundaries here?
Yes.
What are we willing to?
Yes.
And if they're more than anything, it's one thing to be like, these are boundaries, these are our rules, these are law. If those rules don't come from a space of sovereignty, like I said in the last pod, because I was talking about the left and the right. And I'm like, look, there's a lot that is completely unsovereign on the left, but there's also stuff that's unsovereign on the right. They both have things, right? Where they don't respect individuals' choice to do what they want or infringe on people to say, you have to do this, whether that's pay for things through their taxation or what have you. And ultimately, people should be able to do what they want, support what they want, and yet at the same time not be able to have that infringe on anyone else's rights or freedoms, right? Simple, fucking simple. If we come from a place of sovereignty, like, yeah, I honor you. You want to turn yourself into a lizard man. You want to do this or that or whatever. You want to shoot guns. You want to do that. Fine. I have no control or jurisdiction over what you're allowed to do, but there are consequences if you breach these boundaries and thresholds of infringing, harming anything of another sovereign being. So fucking simple.
That's it, bro.
That's it.
That's it.
Like, that's literally it.
Do you, bro?
Yeah.
But the moment it comes out of line is when you do something who someone doesn't want that. Yeah. And bro, like, and that's why I said earlier, like, everyone's into something, dude.
Yeah.
So why do we stop shaming all our parts of us?
Right.
And actually just acknowledge that they exist. Yeah. And if we acknowledge they exist, then we can have real conversations about them. 100%. And real maturity. I mean, it's the same thing with sexuality, bro. With, you know, in our society and all these different things. It's like,
getting out of hand so it could get in hand.
Yes. And it's the spectrum. Yeah. Right? You go so far and then you come back. Yeah. And I think what I've realized within myself is that there's moments where you have to go beyond your boundaries and test your limits. Agreed. Whereas like, oh shit, I went too far. Yeah. Let me fucking backspace.
The room's too messy, right? We gotta clean this shit up.
Let me backspace some because I should have did this, but sometimes you have to test yourself. You're gonna test yourself. Yeah. So go explore it. Just hopefully don't do it, once again, risk management. Don't do it where you're going to go kill yourself. Like, go explore a little bit. Push the edges, but like stay a little bit because you matter, dude. Your mama loves you, dog. You know, and all the things. And I just, Yeah, man, I 100% agree. If the sovereignty, just don't hurt anybody else. And if they want to be hurt and it's part of it, fucking have them sign something. Like, you're part of this, bro. You're going to get...
right. Whatever kinky shit you into.
Exactly. But you can do it. That's the thing. You can do it. Who am I to say
That's
what you can...
That's why America's fucking amazing.
Exactly. Who am I to say what you can do? Just make sure it's fucking like fair. Hey, you're taken care of. I'm taken care of. We're going to leave peacefully and go back to our families. Fuck it. Let's enjoy whatever's fucking going on. Yeah, man. I don't know. But I think there's a balance here. And I feel, I was talking to somebody, where was that? It was at work, National Guard Bureau, right? It was just a guy I was talking to. And he was like, you got to keep the main thing the main thing. If they're working, keep the main thing the work thing. You want to take a part of money or a team and go do some innovative stuff? Here you go. Go figure it out. But we got to keep the main thing the main thing. Right? And what we're talking about there in a political standpoint or just in a psyche is like the conservative parts and then the liberal parts.
Right. 100%.
We need things to stay the same. Because there are grounded evidence that are like, this is a truth. Right. This is not moving. People are going to die. Or like whatever, right? Like it's a fucking truth. But then there are things that we should be evolving.
Exploratory and expressive.
And then go. And we move gently and we go back and forth. And I guess my issue with what our society's kind of turned is like free thought's not there as much. Like, I don't agree. I don't agree with this stuff. And you're going to shame me because I don't agree with you.
Right. There's no conversation.
And that used to bother me. It used to be a thing. And now I feel like more in myself and we're all just like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm going to live my life. This is my opinion. I'm not saying it's right. And I'm not telling you to change what you're doing. But just know I'm not going to adapt to your false belief because I don't find grounding and I don't see truth in it.
Right.
And that's where I come from. We can have a conversation.
And that sovereignty, that sovereignty needs to be respected.
Exactly.
But it can't be unless there's the groundwork of understanding the sovereignty there and understanding the honor that you're having for that person. Right?
Like, I still respect you, dude.
Right.
Do you, man?
But I don't have to agree.
Yes.
And that's what makes this beautiful.
And that's what makes America beautiful.
100%.
Right? Is that we are a mixing pot, dude. It's like
this is the potential that's here.
You go to other countries and everyone's the same.
Homogenous. Yeah, they're like, Sweden's great, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bruh.
I mean, it's cool. I want to go visit and all, but like, that's
it's
their
homogenous.
culture. That's they all do the things their way.
100%. Japan's amazing.
Yeah.
It's all Japanese people, and they don't really necessarily want, like, if you're not Japanese, like, raised there, even if you're full-blooded, you weren't raised there, you're not technically Japanese. Japan's amazing.
No. But I just heard that. You're second person.
It's a tradition. Outside of America, everywhere else is the thing. America's thing is being everything.
Exactly.
And having freedom outside of all certain cultural traditions or whatever.
And I think that's the reason we have to expect that these tornadoes come every once in a while.
Yeah.
Right?
It's part of the growing experience.
We're part of maybe America's not going west anymore. There's no more to explore.
No.
So now we're exploring the internal realms.
Yeah.
And we have to find grounding there too eventually.
We're the identity of the mixed child.
There you go, right? Yeah. And so there's a sequence of events that are always going to bring chaos in a certain moments. But it's our resiliency and our tools and our innovation and our leadership that's going to allow that to grow, right? Because every time you have pressure or chaos, man, you have an opportunity.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity to propel upwards,
yeah,
right? Where we're going to grow and we're going to be amazing because we went facts and we did this. Mm-hmm. Or we're going to fucking spiral and catastrophize all the way down and fucking hit rock bottom.
Yeah,
right?
agreed.
So these are moments where they're great explosions of growth. Mm-hmm. And I think, like you talked to technology stuff, a lot of that stuff's coming. Yeah. But I think what is propelling us now is that the mental and emotional state of a human being has to evolve.
Agreed.
We have to move on because we have to get to these places.
Yeah.
And we have
so
to
that we can handle all this stuff that's coming
so we
too.
can
The
meet
AI, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's also like we were talking earlier, this is our container right now where we're being pressurized.
Yeah.
We're being pressurized as a collective. Mm-hmm. So we have to breathe. We have to relax. We have to get like all these things of alignment that are not in alignment. They're coming to the fucking political things, the mom, the business, all the shit just kind of happening, right? Yeah. COVID just like pushed a lot of people's lives fucking different, dude. Yeah. Right?
It shook everything
Divorces,
up.
Houses, things, businesses closed. This happened. Like everybody was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right? And now it's like a possibility for us to grow, but It takes time, dude. So maybe we're going through an anger phase right now, the confusion phase, the anxious phase, the rebel phase, right? Yeah. Eventually, then it's going to be the grieving phase, right? Yeah. Because after the fight, after the war is done, there's always a grieving phase. And then we're going to be back to pursuing. And then we're going to be back to happiness. And I hope we're living like it was like in the 80s and 90s, but with better technology and more fucking people to hang out with, bro.
Wouldn't that be fun? Like instead of the rebellious teenager, we're in like the college party phase.
Yeah. Now we're all fucking, because like I'm always like AI, right? Like I don't fucking care about, like, I think it's cool that AI is gonna make videos and all that shit. But I saw this meme. I was like, I want AI. I think you posted it, right?
Yeah. I want AI to do my laundry.
Like, how about I have a chute that goes down and the robot takes it to the laundry and does it automatically? Wash
Instead of
my
make
fucking
art or
dishes, bro. I don't care about dishes.
100%.
I fucking hate dishes. You know what I'm saying? Take care of that problem,
100%.
and you'll have all the money you want. There's not a fucking issue in this place, right? And a dishwasher's not the answer because the dish don't work good.
No,
so we need to get rid of that shit and get something else.
AI dishwasher, AI laundry, fold everything.
Yes. That's what I need. Fucking fold. Can you imagine a machine that's like,
yeah, bro, 100%. So that we can pursue arts.
Yes, that's why I think we're going eventually.
Yeah,
and arts doesn't mean, like, arts means technology. Arts mean a lot of the stuff we're already doing, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the bullshit jobs that people are just not there for, like, I don't know, man. I'm okay with getting it. I'm like, there's people, they're not happy there.
No, it's the necessary adaptation. I mean, all of it's happening for a reason.
Exactly, right? Yeah. They've been adapting to this thing, and I'm like, no, like, I hope it becomes an art. We're all just going to be artists, sharing, inspiring, talking, dancing, breathing. Like, there's so many human things to do.
There are, dude.
And there's so many beautiful places to go.
Dude, and imagine like we're at optimum health, optimum rest. Like imagine when AI is helping with sleeping. So you get appropriate nutrition, appropriate sleep, appropriate recovery. You know, like, oh man, what I would love to just do jiu-jitsu all day, surf, dance, have sex, eat great, delicious food and fruit. Like,
and why can't we do that? That's the thing. There's no rules to this thing, dude. All within the rules of nature. That's the only thing we have to stay within alignment.
And we could do all of it very well in accordance with nature.
Of course. And even following our integrity, because I think those are, like I said, that's a rule of nature. These things 100%. Are rules. So it's a thing to continue to foster and to grow.
To hone in.
Yeah, man. I think I'm an optimist. I just choose to be an optimist.
You're choosing.
Yeah, I choose to be an optimist. I choose to fucking feel all that. And it doesn't feel like a choice anymore, to be quite honest. But I know I chose this. Like, I'm aware, because there's moments where it's like, yeah, bro, it's all good. I've just done it so much now that it's like, yeah, this shit sucks, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'll figure it out. We'll find a way. Like, I got it. Okay. I need all the truth.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like dealing with relationships. Give it all to me. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you're trying to see. If you don't, that's also telling me things.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's our ability to communicate what's really happening inside. And that comes from experience.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, man. I'm a big advocate in experience. So I feel like humans need to go see the world. We should be fostering fucking all different types of things, because that's also an issue in America, where I find a lot of people don't travel a lot. They don't leave their blocks. They don't leave their hoods. They don't leave their cities. And honestly, some of them just can't because they don't have the money to, right? And unfortunately, that's a fucking thing. But man, do they have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Someone got to figure out how to get people somewhere else. Because like you say, you go to Japan, you see a whole nother world. You get to open up. And a lot of times experience is the best teacher, because you get to feel it all.
Yeah.
It's not a book, you're not imagining. It's like there's something different going on here.
Yeah, and so, I mean, 100% agree. And also, I think one of the ways that we can even get to that space is obviously having a healthy outlook, a healthy perspective, understanding ourselves. Like, you know, when we think about, I mean, I'm not going to say that understanding sovereignty is just going to like eliminate crime. And yet at the same time, like, I feel like it is such a big wake up call when individuals start to not just see themselves as like, oh yeah, you're another person, so I have to, all men are created equal. It's like, how about like, oh wow, like namaste, like I bow to the divinity in you. What if we start to reframe that and cultivate it within society, where it's like, hey, look, this is now the new standard, where when you are seeing anyone and everyone, you are seeing like a sliver of God in them, and the ultimate power of creation and destruction within them. And what they choose to do with that is up to them. But here are the clear consequences. You infringe on someone else, and it's whatever, like there are consequences for that. Other than that, choose to be you, and your choices are your own. When we start to cultivate that healthy type of understanding of ourselves, then like I really wonder like what you're talking about in how people travel or do whatever, like then it becomes like the slate becomes open. I feel like in that space, people are kind of just going to be like, what the fuck? And I think maybe that's why certain things have not been disclosed by the government or by the powers that be or whatever, because it's too much for, like, it would turn people into frenzy. Like, what do we do? Like, it's almost like we have to find that little by little, like we're like the innovators, right?
Yeah,
we're finding it. And then slowly you have the early adopters, then you have the late adopters, and you have the laggards,
Yeah,
right? And so it's like, it's making its way inward and outward. But ultimately it's, you know, us doing stuff like this allows for it to come forward in a good way. Because it's like, it's not just gonna all happen at once.
No, but I remember when this shit was crazy too, bro. I felt like 10 years ago I was doing breath work, and then no one's not talking about nothing.
Right.
And now it's fucking trending. Now it's like, now it's big stuff, and now all the cold plunges are fucking everywhere, and the hot saunas, like it's like therapy. It's all the things are coming. So that just makes me feel, even if it's trendy, it's like good. Let it all trend. Go have a moment. I hope you have an experience in one of those goddamn breath works, like
100%,
you know, and it cultivates
or
you,
sound healing or
whatever the medicine is, man. Dude. I have a saying that I is us and us is I. Mm-hmm. So like the sovereign individual turns into the us because the sovereign individuals understand that I affect the other person. Yeah. Because I am sovereign, I'm owning my own thing, but I'm showing up with what I want. So I'm asking for what I want from another person. And that is the interaction of sovereignty, I feel like brings healthiness, bro. Yeah. And it's, you know, and as much as maybe people don't like capitalism, it's the same idea there. Right? It's the same idea in capitalism. 100%. It's just greed takes over. The way I think about business is like a tree, bro. The tree can only go so big if you're not planting or feeding back into the roots. Right. Feeding the people or it's like the people who do the technical job. Yeah. The bottom. A business, I feel like, is always going to see how good it is by how they treat them. Right. Because if that keeps growing deeper roots and wider and longer, the tree keeps blooming, it keeps going up, and it's flexible. Right. So it's able to shift because the vision's there and the people are there, but they're funneling the system. It's just like the death process, life and death. It comes down into the dirt, into the up. It needs to be part of the things. This is also where capitalism is. Well, I'm a huge fan of capitalism, and yet capitalism needs boundaries. Yes. Like, for instance, like there are a lot of companies who have chosen to cut down other trees so that they're the biggest tree in the forest. Exactly. Whereas like if there's going to be any like limit and or like, you know, boundary on capitalism, that's something that needs to be looked out for and prevented. Yes. So that there can be an open marketplace. And that's also where when we start to provide, like, you know, healthcare is a big topic and so forth. Of course, and it's like, I want everyone to be able to have healthcare. And at the same time, like if we look at our phones, for instance, like the reason why you're able to get a new iPhone 15 from T-Mobile right now or whatever for free, even if you trade in your old shitty phone, is because we've gotten to the point, and yes, we can say all this stuff about consumerism, and yet you have a magic device in your pocket, and you can get that thing for free. Why? Because it's so popular that demand has driven the price down. Yep. And then someone could say, oh, well, that's because they're making it overseas. Totally. And yet there's a way that we could still do it and make it in America that could still drive the price down, right? So we don't have to do the negative thing just to do that. But point being, free marketplace or free competition in the marketplace in the free economy allows for things to go down just based on the amount of demand, right? Yeah. And so there's a way to do capitalism in a healthy and aligned way by not utilizing sweatshop workers and blah, 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 and all the other things we could see point out. I'm not saying that. Just want to make that clear because I've had people say that. Oh, yeah? Like, oh, well, you know, this is happening in this place. I'm like, I know. That's what I mean by alignment. Right? If we can align capitalism. We can choose, dude. That's, like you said, and there can be boundaries. Again, yes, there can be boundaries. Like we can choose to be like, hey, you have to make stuff in the USA. You have to do it by this code of ethics. Otherwise, this isn't allowed. Like, that doesn't mean that you cannot create. That doesn't mean you can't create something. It just means, hey, there are certain standards, once again, for what we're choosing to do in order to maintain integrity. Yeah, and it comes back to risk. It's like risk. For that, it's like the risk reward. They're willing to, you know, kill a whole river for the oil or whatever the fuck is there. Right. But they're for their own pleasure in the moment, right? Yeah. They're not thinking about that forest in 50 years or who's going to live here or whatever. Right. And there has to be legacy conditions as well. Exactly, right? Yeah. And that's the thing. And that, you know, you can argue if we're even in a capitalism state anymore. I hate the phrase "is too big to fail." No, bitch. Yeah. No, bitch. No, bitch. You fucked up, Wells Fargo, whatever other fucking bank, whatever airline. No, you fucked up.
Yeah.
And you did it fucked up. And guess what?
It.
You got to fucking fail.
Yeah.
This whole fucking bailing out everybody fucking thing. Right? It's like, it's bullshit. No, let them fail. That's the whole purpose of capitalism.
Right.
Let the things die that need to die.
Something else can rise up.
Something else will come up that's better than it. That's going to be more innovative.
Give the opportunity for the ones that have integrity. Not just let
the ones that are trying to do the new things and evolve. But you guys are monopolizing everything. That now it can't even become a fucking thing.
In the shadows.
Yeah. And you want to destroy. You know, I read Ishmael one time. I don't know if you ever heard the book Ishmael, but it talked about, love that fucking book. The takers and the givers. And it just talked about how, like, our inability to feed back and things have to die. And how in nature, no animal goes try to kill the whole other tribe.
No.
They don't go and
actually, chimpanzees.
Yeah,
the ones that are closest to humans.
But it's like, there's territorial things.
Right.
It's not, I'm here. And I'm just with you right now. It's not a gang thing where it's like, I hate you and I'm just going to go kill all of your fucking things.
Right.
That is not a regular occurrence in nature. They fight as much as they have to. And mostly when people go away when they're closer to home or they go back. Humans are the ones, and especially in business, where it's like, we're going to take over this whole fucking industry.
Right. Yeah.
And we're going to try to stop him by this feat or whatever. It's ruthless, bro. Yeah. And that's the same thing. It's like
a lot of
the
it's
overgrowth,
too.
the overgrowth. How can you consistently grow? Nothing in the universe grows like that forever.
Right. Well, and
besides the universe of goddamn self.
I mean, and that leads to like kind of a weird and dicey topic too, which is very similar just with like humans, is that like there's like the underbelly of really high up business is cartel mafia mob. Like, you know, like it's criminal activity.
Yeah.
So
paying out lobbyists, they're doing all it's like they're doing all the things.
It'd be a shame if your windows were broken tomorrow, you know?
Yeah, but and that's the thing. People the person who made a car of water or hydrogen, right? Like motherfuckers just happen to die.
Yeah.
They're just dying.
It's been happening for a long time.
What's the motherfucker in the guy? What is the sex dude? He just die. They just die.
Yeah.
But that's where my faith comes in the internet now.
Yeah.
Right? Is because these little things.
Yeah.
I don't know who make all these memes. I don't know who goes out and fucking find all these informations, but I'm grateful for you.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, this family's doing this with this person this time and this happened. And this is connected.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest thing when I was younger and I found out how many fucking businesses Disney owns.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Kellogg's, whoever fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like
Nestle.
Like Nestle.
Yeah.
How much fucking
and how much Nestle owns.
And how much different businesses, DBAs they have.
It's beyond a monopoly. It's an empire.
It's an empire.
Yeah.
It's Coke.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, you own the other side Cokes too? Like the non-Coke ones? Like, that's fucking it's just
so deep.
How do we allow that to, that's the thing. And I think that's the big issue is that, it's just the standards, man. Maybe come back to standards again.
Yeah.
It feels like America used to have standards. We used to have a way of being that this is what we're doing and this is how we're doing it because we care about people. We want everyone to be accepted and you're welcome here to grow.
Yeah.
So bring your creativeness, bring your innovation, and let's fucking grow and party.
Well, and yes. And I would say that a lot of people would also argue that only 50 years ago it was a very racist nation. And yet I do agree.
But
I know.
I just feel like
I know.
It's like I agree with that, but go everywhere else. And sooner or later we move on.
No, I know. That's why I'm
racist now.
And I'm saying, I know. I'm just saying I agree that we did, like, the foundation of America, like, I'm all about it. I'm very proud to be an American, and I also recognize how pivotal of a place we're at, and I don't think that it's the right thing to burn it all down. Like, there's so much here. There's so much here to not even just salvage, like just for us to reframe and redirect. And everything's being shown to us so that we can make those choices.
Bro, who wants perfection, dude?
Well, I think we all want it, but we know that we'll never attain it.
But you can't have it. Perfection is boring because everything flows perfectly. And so there's no challenge. Do you not want to, you just want life to be fairy tales and move on with time? Like, maybe, but it's not a game. This is a game too. It feels fun to like conquer things and to go over them. And I just think it's not to say that none of those things exist. They all exist.
Right.
But it's you too, bro. Me too.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm perfect and all unperfect at the same time.
Yeah.
Everyone has things, dude. Every country has a thing. Every place has a thing. Every family has a thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you go. So it's like, if you want to you can't throw everything out with the bathwater.
100%. You know what's funny that I just thought about while you're saying this is like, you know how America was racist like 50 years ago?
Yeah.
Everywhere was racist 50 years ago.
Everywhere is racist. That's what I'm saying. Everywhere is racist. And they're still racist. You just talked about how Japan's with us.
Oh,
you
totally.
you go to different
Sweden,
countries,
all
America.
Like,
I don't know if that's true, all the things, but what I'm saying is that everyone has judgments. Everyone has these fucking preconceived notions.
They're trying to keep their nations the way they are.
Exactly.
Like,
they don't want us. And that's the issue, though. So in the military aspect, it's like other countries can invest more into their communities because if they're part of NATO.
Because they have national pride.
But if they're part of NATO, bro, who's going to come save them if someone gets happened?
US.
We're going.
Exactly.
Right? So like, and I think that's a thing that's going to happen later. You know how like every town has parts of businesses where you go to different places? The world's going to become something like that. We go to Europe for this. We go to Australia for that medicine.
Yeah.
We go here. It's sooner or later, it's just going to, I hope that it comes together in a smooth way. I'm not even going to say I hope. It's coming, bro.
Yeah.
Because our generation, me, you, and a lot of these other people that I know too, it's like people are fucking fed up.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a matter of time until we just keep getting, and I'm sorry. All right? I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not sorry. But I don't think you should be able to run an office if you're over 65 years old. I think we should have a fucking term limit. Just like you can't be president until you're 35.
Yeah.
You can't be in office you can't run for Congress or House until you're 30, 35 years old.
Right.
And you cannot run after
be geriatric.
65. If you can collect Social Security, if you were a normal American and it still existed in 10 years, right? It still exists. You should not run from office because you are out of the culture. Your grandchildren are probably older. You're out of this thing. What are you chasing now? Besides used to a lifestyle, power, and then the connections that all that brings.
Yeah.
It feels good to have connections.
Right.
It feels good to be part of the in crew.
Right.
It feels good to be part of the name that everyone knows.
Yeah, so true.
But I think we need to have structures in that space because it's a different mentality. Obviously, we see what debates fucking happen. I can't talk names too much, obviously, right? But it's like you can see the things that are unfolding. I think we need.
It's always the lesser of two evils or whatnot. But it's like,
why is that a phrase? Why is this a fallacy? We can't. John F. K. Jr. There's people out there. There's other people out here that we can get, but then the system is rigged against them. They can't even get on the fucking ballot or not. But at the end of the day, dude, I feel like we need to have some type of boundaries. In the military, you can't even serve at 65, bro. You have to retire by 60.
Right.
60 years old. 62 is their max, and that is if you had like some unique situations and you have to get a waiver and it gets granted. But you're old at 60. Get the fuck out.
You can't make
and
these
we're not
decisions.
shy about it, bro. We're not shy about the old motherfuckers. We're not shy about the fat motherfuckers. We're not shy about the weak motherfuckers. It's like, fix yourself.
Yeah. Right?
You got to pass this. Fix yourself. Fix yourself. I'm here for you. It's fix yourself. It's a little rough. It comes out, but it's like, but I'm going to show.
It's ownership.
Yeah, but I'll run with you, bro. Yeah. You want to work out? You need some help? Okay. Well, meet me here this day. We're going to get it. Right. We're going to do this day. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to guide through it all with you.
Okay. So what you're saying is like, it's a little rough. The issue in America right now is that people think that everyone else has to do things and sugarcoat things in order for them to be emotionally regulated instead of them emotionally regulate themselves. That's the fucking. It's like you have that power.
It's to breathe, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's your job to be emotionally regulated. I was telling this to my partner. Like, it's your job to not only regulate your emotions but reframe. If there's a word that I say that's triggering you, do you know for a fact that I mean that? And what if it's not? I'm not supposed to use that word. No, you need to choose to reframe how you receive and perceive, and then respond to that word. Like,
because do you get the message I'm trying to say? It's not. The message doesn't come with one word.
No.
Right? Are you hearing really the message of what I'm trying to deliver?
Like, you're bringing up my dad. Great. Much love and respect. Go do that work so you can heal that and reframe that, because right now, you being so triggered and so emotionally unregulated, you're an absolute liability.
Yes.
In every single way.
Yes.
You're not a good citizen of this nation.
Yes.
You're a fucking loose cannon. Like, what? So we're supposed to model our everything around you being a loose cannon?
Once
what
again,
the fuck?
Why because I love being in the military for that sense, man. Because once again, it's a peer pressure. Because it fucking matters, though. No, the thing is, it matters.
It's life or death,
it
dude.
matters in the military.
Yeah.
You, me, we could go to war and be in the same foxhole.
Right.
If I get shot in my leg, can you drag me 5 meters as I'm fucking putting a tourniquet on my
100%,
goddamn leg?
100%.
Right? It's like, and are you sleeping enough? Because you need to sleep if we're out and it's fucking 2 a.m. and you're not fucking there.
Yeah.
So it becomes very apparent, especially in the combat units. It's like, there's not a fucking, you need to get your shit together.
There's not room to fuck around.
We need to get our life together. So stop being a fucking idiot and get your shit together. Obviously, it's not always said like that, but it is, we called it a phrase. We went through a course too in the Guard, so I love the Guard, right? Or the place. We call it courageous conversations, right? You need to learn to have courageous conversations. As a leader,
I like that.
as a leader, you have to learn to tell, hey, you can't just review everyone a good person because you're scared of having the conflict. Conflict resolution is so perfect. You talking about. So we have courageous conversations that everyone has to learn, right? Everyone has to learn to come up. We need to talk about. We need to talk about. This needs to be done. And then conflict resolution. You need to know how to de-escalate conversations. Use the book. Nonverbal communication, where it's not coming out fucking violent or nonviolent communication, right? Nonverbal, where it's not coming out as rough. Understand that how you speak in this moment.
But that is nonverbal communication. What you're talking about is.
Yeah. Well, I guess, but I meant violence, nonviolent communication. But yes, but it's like the way we deliver the things can also de-escalate the situation.
1000%.
If you just gave them that one thing, it'll make them feel better and make them feel seen. Yeah, you were right there, dude. I just wanted this to deliver. This was my intention. And I think that's a little bit of the mixture when it comes to triggers in relationships. Sometimes we get so triggered that we want that one word, why'd you say that thing? Right. But it's like, hear the message. There's other messages that are coming across. And I think that's something, what I appreciate about art, right? And, doing this creative writing class and writing is that there's always underlining messages. There's underlining themes that are people saying when they're talking. Maybe they can't articulate it so well. But this is what they're trying to say. Can you get past, have the benefit of the doubt that this person loves you, or if they're talking to you and having a courageous conversation, in all honesty, that means they value you because something has to happen here. Totally. I'm not feeling good, whatever scene or whatever fuck it is, so we have to have this conversation. And that propels relationships in the most beautiful way when they're done correctly. And I think you're right. Emotional regulation, self-emotional regulation, conflict resolution, being able to do those things are such fucking vital things for humans.
And once again, it comes back to the home.
I know, because those are not taught, well, a little bit, but they're not, that is a school because you're witnessing, that's how, as a dad, it's like, on the way here, my son forgot his fucking work computer or his school computer at his mom's house, and I was triggered a little bit driving back home because now we're already halfway and he forgot, and it was 20 minutes that way. So I'm like, now I gotta drive, and I gotta drive back before I fucking drive to California. And I was like, hey man, like I'm triggered right now. I'm a little pissed off because like I told you to grab everything and you'd forgot this, and then I could feel myself. I guess let me say this back. I felt myself, and I was saying things to him, dude. What the heck? Oh, come on. And then I was like, oh, I'm triggered right now because I've been driving a lot. I've been doing a lot. Okay, hey, man, this is what's going on with me. And then I just tell him, right? And I think that's how you show emotional regulation. Is through the interaction behavior with your children that you can show them. And I think that's
to be vulnerable.
To be vulnerable, but also it's just like, it's vulnerable, but it's real life events. It's like, this is real life. Like, I don't even...
Instead of just
the question, I guess, what just came out to me, why does it has to be vulnerable? Like, why can't that just become the normal?
No, totally.
Why right? Like, it's the metaphor of just like, hey, this is what's happening. I still love you. It's still great. Just, I wish you would have brought it. Can we pay attention next time? Because I'm triggered. I'm a little pissed off that I have to drive for next 20 minutes.
I'm really tired right now. And it's already a long enough trip. And I'm just letting you know, like, this is why. Sorry I got upset, but this is where I'm at. Exactly. Like, I really want to go to sleep right now. And you guys can't drive.
Exactly. So I have to drive this whole time.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, bro. So that's just kind of like,
I feel that.
I think that's the best way it can, because when you see someone emotional regulate, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Instead of just reacting, you're choosing to respond.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're choosing to, and once again, the feelings are there. Like, it's very important to like stipulate that the feelings are real. They're there.
Yeah,
they're
they're not going
justified.
away. Yeah.
The feel like, you're justified in your feelings, and there's a way to speak to them so that it's not just blah and like,
Yes.
oh shit, what the fuck was that about?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, okay. There's unless it's already known, like, oh, these are the reasons why. There's still and I think once we get there to the point where we speak to them, then there's also then the emotional regulation of how do I not even have to explode here? How can I reframe and reprocess within myself so that maybe I can redirect
Before I even go.
Yeah,
Yes,
before those
yes,
feelings
of
even
course,
arise.
of course.
Right? But that's all very intricate, intentional,
and it's time.
Work. It takes time.
It's time. You
Yeah.
know, my boss he's a freaking great dude. Love that guy. And just, we were having this conversation, and one of the employees come up and just talk to us, and it was like, how did you guys do this? How did you get there? It's like, girl, this is years.
Yeah.
This isn't I just got here and now I got promoted. I'm in this space. No, I've been in for 18 years.
Yeah.
I've been around. I've done.
Right.
It's not always about what degree or how many things. It's like, what have you done? How many things have you been part of? How many things have you been in there?
Yeah.
And that is what brings us. It's I love that statue of the guy who's like skinny and all buff on top, but on the bottom halfway he's like chipping. He's just chipping. It's a chip, one thing at a time, one decision at a time, one sentence at a time. And one thing is too, bro, is like I feel like humans, for the most part, obviously there's variations and deviations of this.
Yeah.
But I believe the spirit's in all of us, dude. And when you're out of integrity.
Yeah.
When you should be sorry. In all, like I feel like when you go to bed, and maybe because I feel like that's in me, it's like no matter how mad I want to be, there's like this thing. And that's the choice. Once again, it's always those moment choices where it's like, okay, well, I know this choice leads to resentment.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing, bro. Resentment's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And then the other choice leads to like expression, even though it's anxious.
Yeah.
But I know, universal pattern, you step in, you come out better on the other side.
Yeah.
So let me just remember that every time I'm and learning how to separate those two things and bring awareness to those things are so important because we have to be able to see them as they come and choose correctly.
Yeah.
But I think spirit always has it there. I think we're born with a little bit of morals in some way.
Absolutely. Moral compass.
The heart. The moral compass, the heart. There's a thing there. And I feel like you can even see it in animals.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can see it in other animals shows that there is some type of biology code, interconnection, heart chakra, whatever the fuck you want to think.
Yeah.
There's a thing there.
There's a right and wrong. There's a disrespecting of sovereignty. And once again, that falls in line with whatever cultures, species, traditions.
Yes.
Right. Like it's like, oh, the monkeys picking the hair off or picking the bugs off each other. That's a certain level of social interaction.
Yes.
That's like respecting the individual sovereignty.
And you're with me, right?
Yeah. You go outside of that sovereignty and you do something fucked up, steal something from them or fuck up their baby. I don't know what.
Whatever.
That crosses the line. And now there's an issue. Similar things with humans, right? There's certain social interactions that are, not causing any harm that are acceptable. And then there are ones that are not.
Yep.
And I feel like right now in America, we've been creating this masquerade where we're supposed to accept things that are not okay.
Yes.
And we're getting to the point where it's like, let's test them out. Oh yeah, they don't work. That's right. Yeah. Right? Because they're infringing on other people's sovereignty.
Yes.
Let's realign that and let's move forward in a healthy way.
Yes.
Because we've all been learning and people expect for things to be perfect. Like you said, like what is perfect? But things were not perfect, and yes, there was masculinity that was not aligned, and now we're coming back to that. And that's why it's up to us to show up in a good way.
Appreciate I think what you said earlier about being teenagers is a real thing, right?
Right.
We're little teenagers trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
This country hasn't been around for so long, and we're figuring out this presidency and with technology and all these different things.
Yeah.
But we're gonna figure it out, man. We're gonna get through it. It's gonna be a good thing, and eventually we'll be like, okay, but we found what's solid.
Yeah.
And now can we just hone on to that? And how can we, I guess my question too, and what I'm trying to breathe in my life and my family is that how do I pass these traditions on so they're remembered with the spirit that I feel?
Yeah.
How do we do that? Yeah. Is it consistently the same rituals? Is it consistently doing, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to figure that out because it's like, how do I, how does a thing stay family? And maybe because I don't really have that much like lineage so much in my family that I'm trying to build it.
Yeah.
But like the Rockefeller stuff, right? The trust fund, how the insurance goes in there, they get paid, whatever. But there's a family system.
Yeah.
Right? Or cultures, you know, the Sinis, all these different places, they have customs in that.
Yeah.
And I think we just, because America is such a mixing pot, and we're not just a mixing pot in the great things, dude. Like every culture that individual came from a different culture came here, came with their traumas from that culture too, on top of Americans' culture. Yeah. Right? So it's like, we're in a big grieving phase, dude. Yeah. We're in a grieve. We got to fucking get through this. We got to grieve. We got to connect. And I forget, it keeps coming to mind, but I saw something. It's like every time you go through something that's terrific, the way through it is to find deeper meaning. You got to find deeper meaning every time. And I think that's what we're trying to figure out as a country right now. And it's coming so hilarious and stupid because we're watching this shit on TV and can't even see it. But Terrence McKenna has a video about that. I don't know if you see on Fabian had a post about that one time, but it's like, eventually it's going to get so weird that you cannot not even recognize it now. Right. Like it's just weird. Yeah, yeah. And I think those debates have pushed us to that spot now.
Oh, and with AI coming too, there was just this thing where I think it was I forget who was talking about it, but eventually AI in the next like couple years is going to basically start to spin stories and spin narratives, and it's like basically like able to create fake news where you're trying to get news off of your phone or device or whatever, and you're just like, what the fuck is this?
See, right? And we're gonna have more of those systems probably. You know, when you push that button, you got to do like, where's the car? Are you a human? Yeah, yeah. Right? Like we're gonna start developing more systems like that because it's just inevitable, bro. Like because we choose to do.
Do you know why that system even is in place? By the way,
no, I don't.
It's actually to train AI.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I found that out only recently. Way. Yeah. So that CAPTCHA thing, that was not to prove that you're human. They said to prove you're human, but it was really to teach AI. Like, oh, this is how you find out a car from a thing. This is how you find out a bridge from these like random pictures. To recognize, to verify. Yeah. So it's actually whoever, I forget who made that, but they made a lot of money because it's basically an AI training program. Oh. Fascinating, huh?
It's
fucking nuts.
There's some people like...
we're teenagers having a teenage baby.
Yeah, dude.
You know, AI's the teenage baby.
Welcome. That was me. Goddamn. You got kids young. You got to figure it out, dude. Yeah. Figure it out. Yeah. It's, we're going to get through it, dude. I don't know. Yeah. It's just, we just need, America needs to step up, man, and step in. Yeah. And I, like what we say at work, what I do with my team is I'm pulling you in and up. I'm pulling you in and up because I'm gone in 8 years. If I get promoted one more time, I become sergeant major. Either way, 8 years around that time frame, I'm out, right? Yeah. And in the military, it's very secular. So someone's gonna replace me. I'm a number 2. Yeah. So I need to train the person. So I'm gonna call you in and up because you need to know my job. You need to understand, and I'm gonna hold you, and I'm gonna keep pushing these little mentor things on you. Not pushing, but like it's my job to be that, right? And I think that's what we need to do, America. We need to pull in and pull up. Like it's time to evolve right now. It's time to get to another space. It's time to have a conversation. It's time to sit at the table with people you don't like and own it. It's time to talk to your fucking mom and your dad or whoever the fuck you got those issues with and own it because that comes out in the political system. All is connected. Yeah. Right? There is no separation of church and state. That is a fallacy. A human being cannot do that. Right? And we're seeing that with all the fucking, what you're saying, taking away sovereignties. They're trying to take away things. So we need people to get tapped into themselves and solve their own problems. Go deal with your mama issues. Go deal with your papa issues and talk to your siblings, man.
There's spaces for it.
There's spaces. You got Google. Spaces for it. Yeah,
you got Google. You got the wizard in your palm.
Go and
check it out.
And go do things you want to do. That's one thing too I want to encourage people to do, is go out and do the world. Play. Yeah. Go where you want. Yeah. Find your community. Yeah. Because I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I crave, like appreciate you, dude, and all these things. It's like I found my community. Yeah. And where I feel like I belong, where I feel like I communicate. And other people say, you guys all talk like that? Is you all Yeah. We might not sound the same. Say different words or different logos, different meanings, but we all have the same. We're going this way. We're trying to get better. We're going to improve ourselves. Open heart, open mind, open spirit. Yeah. Ground as fuck. Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing. So I once again, the synergy of people. I love people, dude. And if I want people to love people. I guess that's the end of the day. I just want people to love people. But you have to go find your people because not everyone's your person. Yeah. Or even your people. Yeah. So have the courage and have the courage to go do that. To be alone in the salsa room, to be alone at the festival, be alone getting dinner, be alone doing whatever it is. Because when you find your people, it feels fucking great.
Agreed. Yeah, so. And hopefully we can get to that space where through understanding sovereignty, through owning our shit, through getting deeper into honoring each other and having appropriate boundaries as well.
Yeah, of course.
Appropriate consequences for breaching boundaries, that we then get to that place where more people become our people and that starts to become more of a congealed thing. Hopefully.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so, bro.
I think it can because
parties in the park all the time.
If you hold these beliefs, if you hold the open, the sovereignty, we all come to the same thing. Yeah, and I think that's one thing that I've appreciated about all my bros, right? Yeah. And the women in my life now is that you found the same thing I found.
Yeah.
But you did it your way, and I did it my way. But we can talk about it.
It's the inherent truth, but we express it differently.
I had
that's the whole part of it.
Beautiful comment from one of my good friends, one of my best friends, man. Beautiful comment, and I got emotional when he said it. He's like, I know we don't hang out, we don't have all the same because we're Army buddies, but I've known him for like 15 years, and I do more of the men's work. He hasn't done some of that stuff, right? But he goes, you know what? I appreciate you, man. He's like, I feel like me and you were walking on an island, right? But we're just on this different paths walking the same direction. Maybe I'm a little bit on the shore, he's on the sand. Yeah. Or I'm deeper water, he's barely in a little water. Yeah. But we're going the same way. Yeah. And it's like you, bro. But if you tell me that's over there, then I'm trusting you based off what you did because I feel we're on the same shit. Right. So it's like, imagine, and Army term, it's like a team, bro. It's a fire team. We're all going the same way. Or it's a 360 perimeter, right? Yeah. You got to do 360 to make sure everyone's safe. Well, you own your part. I got my part. I'm trusting you in that frame. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So it's like if we hold these beliefs and hold the integrity and having our own responsibility, it allows us to, one, trust ourselves, but then also because we feel safe enough to trust ourselves, now I'm willing to open up and trust you. Agreed. Yeah. Right. And that's when
and potentially rely on you too.
But rely. Yeah. Well, when I say trust, I guess I'm rely. I'm putting rely, right?
100%. And to hold me through it. To remind me of when maybe I'm losing sight of things. Like, oh yeah, I am creating this. Thank you. Yes. Oh wow, I did choose. Oh, what's the silver lining here? What's the blessing here? Ah, thank you.
Yes, and I can trust you. So when you tell me that, I'm like, okay, I need to take this
because we're on that shit.
Yeah. So it's like because I was talking to somebody, I forgot what it was. You can't heal alone, bro. You can't heal alone. Yeah. And a great metaphor that I like to use is the Hunger Games metaphor. You want Hunger Games?
Of course, I love it.
Okay, well, Katniss and freaking no, someone out there. I can't, it's escaping me right now. Katniss and
I forget
the main guy.
Yeah,
the fucking Pinal. No.
Oh yeah. Peta.
No. Gosh.
It's something like that, right?
Peter.
Yeah.
He's on the train. They're going back. Remember, he got stung with all those beads, so his mental imagery is all gone. He doesn't know what's real and not real, right?
Ooh, I like this.
In these moments of where I'm in grief or I'm unsure or trying to recall trauma, we don't remember things as it was. And I got a story for this, right? Yeah. So as I was going through a lot of this grief, one thing that I use, like the bros, hey, bro, is this real or not real? I'm feeling this way. Like when I first got to Sacred Sons, dude, I was like, I'm depressed. I'm going through a divorce. Yes, I'm in the Army. I'm doing great. All my life is those things. I've done leadership, playing stuff. I was like, they keep calling me in. Why am I here? Yeah. And I told Vince that. I was like, bro, why the fuck? And he said, bro, you're fucking dope. And he takes me into the fucking kitchen and then a bunch of the other bros and they're just telling me, bro, you boom, 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 boom. And it made me feel like, oh, I don't know it's always real. Yeah. So I need to ask. And I need to have people who I can look to and trust.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, hey, Sean, is this real or not real? Because
Right.
I feel like I'm anxious about this, and I look
Right.
like this, and I feel like this is happening.
yeah.
Like I said, sorry coming here, and you're like, bro, no good. Like I needed to say that because I'm feeling this. Is this real? Am I okay? Are you on track? Right? We give each other permissions, dude.
Right.
And it's also reflections because I can't see all of me.
Yeah.
I only interpret it the way I unconsciously or consciously chose how to interpret it.
Yeah, and write that story.
And write the story,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when my brother died, I call the ambulance. We're going through the whole things, whatever. All the shit happened, right? I'm fucking heading to the hospital, and I'm like 5 minutes from the hospital, not even far, right? My mom gets a call. No, my uncle gets a call, and I'm in the car with him, my mom, my sister, and my brother's girlfriend at the time. And my mom gets the phone, toss him, boom, boom. Okay, she's crying, something's going on. Boom, we go inside. And it was my mom. This is what I remember. My mom, my sister, his girlfriend at the time, and my uncle, and I'm the last person. I'm just like casually just walking in, whatever. Let's go do what we gotta do right now, right? Yeah. The three women walk in. My uncle turns around, and what I remember is him like telling me, he's gone, bro. He's gone. And I gave me chills in my head, right? And what I remember is literally just turning around, snapping, and saying, fuck, and just taking off. I was just in the parking lot, I don't even know how long. And I just started making some phone calls to some bros and letting the word known. I was just in the thing. Bro, 3 years ago? So my brother's 20, I'm 20 years old. He was 20 years old, I'm 36, bro. 16 years ago this happened. It had to be less than 5 years ago. I'm telling the story. My uncle's next to me, and he's like, fuck you, bro. You did not do that. When I turned around and told you that your brother's gone, you fucking swung at me. And you were trying to fucking hit me.
Holy shit.
And then you stopped. And then you walked around and snapped your finger and left. I went over 10 years with that belief, with that story that that's what I thought it was. Whoa. So if that's real, bro, how many times are we in trauma situations where things happen with people and your perception of that story, you keep feeding onto it over and over again? And unfortunately, most people are not going to have my uncle in like a situation and tell you that you're wrong. And that's not how it went.
Or hold that space for you.
Yeah, hold that space, right? Yes, right?
Damn, man.
But that means the fallacies of our minds are, especially in those moments, the memories are not really the things that are held. And I must talk to another thing with the PTSD moment. It's the feeling that happens in that moment. My biggest issue coming out of my brother's death was the feeling of no control, of loss of all control, existence, matter. It didn't matter what I tried to do. Blow in his mouth, breathe, push on his chest, roll him over, get the blood out. Didn't matter. Last summer, as I was going through my grief and I was really in it, I had a fucking PTSD dream. I had a dream experience, bro. Nightmare. And it was a totally different situation. We got hijacked in Mexico. We get this fucking random. I'm in Mexico. We got fucking pulled over. We got chained up. They fucking took us into a room. And then I remember like I had a little bit of space. I ended up getting space on my freaking, handcuffs. And somehow I was able to fucking get out the room and run. And I had to find my brother and get him. I come back. And I remember I got out and all of a sudden I got some of the help. And I couldn't remember where he was. I couldn't remember where he was, bro. And that moment, I was like, I couldn't remember where he was, and I was in the back of this car trying to tell people to go somewhere. And that is when I woke up with the PTSD, and I just couldn't stop crying. I was with my kids, my son sleeping in my bed. I had to get up and live with my uncle at that time because I needed just to be in a container. And I'm like, okay, I need to go down because this spirit has got me. I'm about to grieve. And I come down, just like start going downstairs and I start crying. And little by little, I start bawling. And all of a sudden I look up and my fucking aunt and uncle are there. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's happening? What's going on? And then I'm just like, I had a dream. I had a dream. I'm going in. Like, it was literally, I'm going in, bah, and I just started crying. And I'll never forget that because it wasn't the fact that he died. It was the fact that I had no control and had no influence on what situation happens. And I can't tell you the pressure that I had on my chest when that was happening. Because the person I love the most in that time is leaving me. Right. And the inability to take action, even talking about, I guess that's the reason why now it's like I have to take action. And that I am the decisive element. Because I understand now on a cellular level, my body knows that feeling now. So like I have to react in any way, but I want to proact. I'm very proactive now. Right. But the dream never goes away. So it's not, the feeling didn't go away. It felt like it just happened that day, dude. It was the craziest thing that I've ever experienced. Because I've had other things that come up, but never something like that. And that's really from that moment it taught me is, and then with this mind thing, how the mind can create stories, it's like the neural pathways of that experience, because obviously, emotions, and when emotions are tied to experiences, they're bigger, right? But it's like a lightning bolt goes into those fucking surveys. And when that shit gets triggered again, it's a whole thing. So I've taken some compassionate to my trauma and other things. Maybe mom didn't say that like I thought she said it. Maybe I interpreted this now. Right. So it's enabled me to open up more to like my trauma. Well, maybe I don't know the whole story. I only know how I interpreted it and how I processed it when I was 20 years old or when I was 30 years old or whatever. Right. So as we grow and taking writing classes and trying to be a writer, working to be a writer. Right. It has shown me how much stories are just so important, dude. And how we continue to cyclize and say our stories over and over again. We meet new people and do new things. And we have to be careful how we treat our trauma and how we speak about it.
Agreed.
Say what you got to say, but there's always emotion. I feel like, at least what I do for myself is like, I leave the benefit of the doubt that maybe something didn't go the way I thought it was. Because in that deepest moment of me thinking about my uncle, I was wrong. Not fully. But I try to hit my uncle, dude. I love that fucking guy. That's never happened before.
That's wild.
Right? And I literally have no recollection of that, bro. So I'm trusting him. Once again, real, not real. So we need people in our lives who are real.
Reflect.
To reflect that shit, man.
Agreed. I 100%. That's been alive for me is like sometimes more recently I've been in kind of like a weird pit of despair, where I'm just, I've reached out to certain people and so forth and been like, I don't want to choose this right now, and yet I'm in it. Can you tell me what's that? And they're like, bro, you've been at this for like 3 months. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. They're like, what are you expecting, bro? Like, oh yeah, that's right. It's just, like getting burned out or like being like, what am I doing? It's like, oh yeah, thank you for bringing me back to reality. Cause it's very thick. When I go to those places, it can become very thick, like like a sticky trap.
Agreed.
And then all it takes is for an easy reflection from someone else and be like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm kind of being ridiculous right now.
Once again, real, not real. And we need the trustworthy friends to hold that space for us, man, because the mind, if placebo effect is real, that means there's a lot of things that we're not fully aware of.
I completely agree.
So having space for the inconsistencies in our lives is a real thing.
Agreed.
And being able to hold that without judgment or shame is the reward, is the game, is the game to be played, because that shame and that self-inflicted things is what's alive. And I think that's, back to the America thing, it's the same thing. We're other countries are taking advantage of the internal conflict that America's going through right now. And we need to come together. At the end of the day, we got to come together for ourselves, for our families, for our people. Like, I love LA. I love Vegas. I love the country, dude. There's so much beautiful people here. You go so many cool places. And there's no reason why we can't keep thriving.
Agreed.
Now, we might be depressed right now. We might be crazy adolescents, but this too shall pass.
Agreed.
The thing is, can we stay the line, hold the vision, steady as the drum, right? We got
walk through the pain.
We got to keep the drum going. We got to keep moving. And once again, that's the masculine. Like, I know, honey, I know, but we got to go. I know, son, I know you're tired. We're just one little step right now.
Yep.
I'm tired too, but we're not going to go slow and steady, right? You're only as fast as your weakest player, your slowest player.
Right.
So we need everyone to get on board. We need everyone to move. And until everyone's moving, it's always going to be conflicting things. But we need real leaders to say what needs to be done, no matter if they're willing to be liked or not liked, because a leader is not person. You're not going to like me all the time. Yeah. But that's the whole reason why they're a leader. Yeah. And when you have a real leader, you want to follow them, bro. Right. You're inspired by them. You're motivated by them. Yeah. You're like, it gives us a purpose. And I think, psychology, learning that too, when you get older, a lot of people want to give to generation. They want to pour back. Yeah. And I think it's very important for us to keep doing that and bring it back intentionally. Yeah. I had a meeting with my family, my closest family, and my siblings and my mom. And I was like, I understand where we're at and how we got here, but I'm the oldest brother. I have little things that I kind of want to bring through. How you guys feel about this? I want to get more intentional with the family. I want to create different things for us to prosper, for the generations after us. I can't do it alone though. Yeah. I want it to be all of us growing and all my nieces and hopefully I have more nieces and nephews, and like, we need to be having those conversations, bro. Yeah. And I think as that keeps going, then it'll go up everywhere else. Agreed. Yeah, man. I was gonna tell you because we're good. We're running on time on the cameras, but I was gonna ask you if you had any closing words, but I feel like you did a really good job with that one. Unless there's something else that you want to leave the folks with. Other than that, I just wanted to ask where they can find you. Oh, Instagram, Portillo's World. Yeah, that's kind of like my main thing. Everything's there. YouTube, I Am Decisive Element. Other things are coming. Like I got a book coming. Yeah. It's just, everything has its season. Right. And I'm not forcing myself to be something that's alive right now. Yeah. And things are alive, but it's coming. I feel it moving and coming. So at Portillo's World, come drop in and say what's up. Yeah, I'll drop it in the description. It's already there. And the biggest thing I want people to take away, I guess, is just like, find a way. What is the thing that you pursue, that you love, that you enjoy doing, that makes you feel like if you don't believe in God or spirit, like I don't know, but what makes you feel alive? What makes you feel like I can do this more and more? And if you don't know, it's okay to say I don't know, and then just go do it. And maybe you're a dad right now like myself who had kids young, 21 and 25. Yeah. Like I had to do what I got to do, and I got to make sure it's good. I'll be retired. I'll have my own life when my kids are grown, and I'm enjoying it now too. But like, right now, it's about dadhood. So handle your responsibilities. Take care of what you need to take care of. Yeah. And allow that space to be present, because that's the season for you right now. So once that season is done, trust me, another season's coming. Another chapter's coming. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that as I'm growing older, time has become so much more alive to me. Yeah. The benefit of time. Benefit of consistency. And also the benefit of slowing down. So be consistent, slow down, and fucking find what makes you alive. Because you find those three things, you find your tribe, you find hopefully you find a great partner, you get all the things coming in, and the world opens up to you. So I invite you all to open up to the world so the world can open up to you. Well said. Well, I want to say thank you, Appreciate Ronnie Portillo at Portillo's World, for coming on. I don't even know how long we've been at it, but we could go forever. We could go. So we can talk about everything else. There will be a part two. There will be a part two. But I just want to say I'm really grateful that we were able to do this and eternalize this conversation for the viewers, but also just to like, yeah, man. Just to be with you. Yeah, more and more. Thank you. Thanks, my brother. And thanks so much for the invitation and calling me in here and all that. I love doing this shit, bro. So I'm here for it all. However I can support you, got you. This has been the Magnanimous Collective. We'll see you guys on the next one. Yes. Bless. Damn, dude, that was dope.